All right, and we're back in wonderful
Back at you
live 540p resolution.
Pre-recorded.
We have to do that when we have 3 cameras.
Yeah, the 540.
Yeah, because we got a guest today.
We do have a guest. What's his name?
One Mr. Alex.
Oh, I'm the guest.
You are.
A guest of honor,
Hey,
if you will. Are you a 3-timer now?
I'm a 3-timer.
Wow.
A 3-timer. We got a 3-timer
Got a
over
big
here.
treat timer.
Where's my jacket? Or do I get that at 5?
You can have a sweatshirt.
Guess what?
Or t-shirt.
We'll have we're coming out with a new T-shirt pretty soon. Mm-hmm. We had a artist rendition of our Snarf Talk logo,
All right.
and it's like this guy literally drew it. It's amazing.
It's aggressive.
And yeah, it is aggressive. And it's going to be a sticker and it's going to be a T-shirt. And I can't wait till you guys all get to see it because it's amazing.
Like a bloody goat?
It'll be really good.
When you say
I mean, it
aggressive,
looks like he
it's gotta be
would bloody your lip
Yeah.
Oh.
with his hooves, or horns. He's got some prominent horns. But yeah, he's also working on another picture for us, so we'll see how that comes out. I
amazing.
haven't heard anything yet, but it was a gentleman that I deployed with. He was the convoy commander, so he's like in charge of all of us. But he's really good at drawing. He did tattoos when we were deployed on people all the time. He drew me as a comic
I might get
book.
that Snarf Talk tattoo.
You could.
I might.
Maybe you'd do it, but you'd have to drive down to Charleston, Mattoon.
Oh, it's
That
no problem. I'm down there all the time.
Are you?
Yeah.
For what?
For matooning around town.
Do you do a lot of matooning?
I do the Charleston. I dance the Charleston quite frequently.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it on camera.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Yeah.
What
We'd have
is
to-
the Charleston?
We'd have to adjust everything. And
Yeah.
he would
Isn't
be-
the Charleston like the little tiny step like...
No, that's the gopher from...
I'm pretty sure that's the two.
Caddyshack.
I'm all right.
That's exactly what that was.
Worry about me.
That is what you kind of look like. I'm pretty sure you did the waltz, though.
I don't know. I
Maybe
don't know. I actually don't.
Maybe a solid box step.
I've done a waltz.
Jitterbug?
We used to have in PE class, we had a dance like section. Do you
Yeah,
remember
but
that?
it was.
But we did all kinds. We did waltz.
Did
the
we?
Waltz, yeah.
Ottawa
I
did
thought it was
that,
only
too.
country line dancing.
We did that too. Yeah. Oh, the Charleston looks rather intense. I don't think I could do that.
Really?
No.
Is there a lot of hitting and
There's a lot of like
Pushing?
moving of arms and legs and
like
Yeah.
the Charlie Brown?
what's the Charlie Brown?
You know, Charlie Brown, like where you just fling your legs back
Yeah.
and forth, basically.
Oh yeah.
You don't really use your arms.
Like-
Just like that.
What's that one? It's at all the weddings.
Oh,
Take
like
it back now,
the
yeah.
Casper
everybody clap
slide.
a hand.
Yeah.
The Casper
Yeah.
slide part
But
Two times.
But
Have
in
it-
that, it goes...
That's more like a line dance.
Yeah, but then there's a part in there that says, now Charlie Brown.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And it's you step forward, step back, and you just keep rocking back and forth.
I'm watching people dance to Charleston on my computer right now. Oh boy.
Has anybody heard the Casper slide like the original one? Because every time I'm at a wedding, it always says, "This is the Casper slide part 2." Like, where's the first one? Because I've never heard it.
There was no first
And
one.
at the end,
Is it called
says,
the Casper slide?
yeah.
There was the first one.
And at the end, they say, be on the lookout for Casper slide part 3.
I think part
and it
2
never
is
came.
And it
just
never
like
came.
they added the Charlie Brown part, because I don't think the Charlie Brown was in the first one.
It's
Really?
the cha-cha slide, not the Casper slide.
The
It's
cha-cha?
the cha-cha slide.
What's the Casper slide?
It's when you take a Casper
No.
mattress and fashion it into a slide.
The cha-cha slide
At a water
part?
park.
No, I thought it was the Casper slide.
Now, speaking of
I've been looking it up.
T-shirts, I did at one point when I was listening or watching you guys on YouTube, I tried to sketch my own, and it was going to be a Jerry because I still love that comment about his glasses,
Oh,
and I wanted that to be like on the back of the shirt.
Oh,
and then
how-
and then the front was just going to be okay. So you know
The whole thing, how I said I could see tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh, it is the cha-cha slide.
I think
but
our
it
new-
says this is something new, the Casper slide part 2
okay.
in the lyrics.
But you know the Harry Carey
yes,
thing?
with the like tuft of hair and the glass
It's
frame.
just like a
like
little
the minimalist.
squiggle.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's a good idea.
And just the glasses, the headphones, and the hat, and then like part of your chin and your nose, and that.
I'll ask
I
my
love
guy.
it. Oh, we got a guy. We got an
got a
in-house
guy.
artist name. What's his name? Shout him out.
His name is Basil Beatles.
Yes, that's a real name.
Yep. He's like the 6th like Basil Beatles the sixth,
Yeah.
something like
When
that.
you have a name like that, it's always like this.
And yeah, he's a phenomenal artist. He drew me as a comic book, and he also drew me because we had like in our trailer we built cabinets and like cupboards in this 10x10 room, and I had a wooden.
Was that where you slept?
Yeah, right in the drawer. So my door that I would close to my house, I had him drew me. I just said, draw me a Grim Reaper, and so he drew a Grim Reaper like head holding a like part of his scythe, just with 2 paint markers. He's like, I got 2 paint markers. That's what I'm going to use, and it turned out amazing. I saved it and also shipped it back with me, and I have a 2x2 wooden door that I stuck in a bag. Came back.
Speaking of cool things, nostalgic things, kind of.
Okay.
I was cleaning out the Mazan market this week. I've been working on that, trying to get it a little turned around. And I went in the back, and I was cleaning out some boxes, and there was like boxes and boxes and boxes of cake toppers, all kinds.
Really?
Like a whole box of Mickey Mouse ones. There was boxes from like Disney's Hercules movie, a bunch of different Disney characters.
Okay.
There's a whole box of Space Jam cake toppers that were pretty sweet. But I came across this one interesting item, still brand new in package. That's a set of birthday topper candles that I had on my cake as a child.
How do you know?
Because I remember it, and there's pictures of it.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Do you have pictures of these things?
That little jobber
You brought
right
one?
in here.
What is it?
Ninja
Turtle
Turtles.
party candles. Look at those things.
Yeah.
Is that a foot soldier?
That's Shredder, man.
Is it? I can't see it.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
Oh, it
You
is
can tell those
Shredder.
things are old too. By
Oh, yeah.
the yellowing of the plastic.
Wow.
I'm going to sell that thing on eBay.
Look at that. Yeah, you could sell it.
The Space Jam cake toppers were going for $12 on eBay.
Really?
Like a piece.
That's sweet. That's old. Does it have a date on it?
No.
It's got to be
but
like
it's gotta
early
be from
90s.
the 80s.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
What about like 91 or 92 whenever the movie came out? They probably
I
had a
think
resurgence.
That looks to be the cartoon, which I
Cartoon,
think
yeah.
was like late 80s. It probably went into the 90s too, but this looks to be early on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was all in the back, like just
Yeah.
random
Just
boxes.
and boxes and boxes of them. Like dump trucks, tractors, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Cinderellas with the carriage and the horses.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to use any?
I don't know. I'm going to start sell them on eBay. I'm going to start an eBay shop just selling cake
Just
toppers.
cake toppers. That'd be great. I think that's a good idea.
Chris's cake toppers.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I found a bunch of other cool stuff in there too, so
Well,
check out my new
like-
eBay store where I'll be selling cash registers.
Did you ever get those things open that could have had large amounts of cash in them?
The ATM machines. No, I haven't yet, but I have them.
You do have them.
2 of them. And I also ventured into the
Why
basement.
haven't you tried to get those open?
I just haven't had time, Jerry.
It's just a simple house key that
No,
opens
it's
those.
not. No, that opens the front door, and then there's a combination safe on the inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a gun safe.
You know, there's a guy on YouTube called the Lock Picking Lawyer. You should get a hold of him because he breaks every lock that's
I don't
like on the market right now.
know that we can legally be talking about this because I don't know.
Well, you own them.
Do I?
Well, how could you not?
That's why I didn't flat
I mean,
out say
I
what
bought
they
the
were.
building, and they were in the building. But
There you
who
go.
owns the ATM machine?
No, you buy the ATM machine
I
yourself.
don't know about that.
I think you do.
I'm just gonna contact the
Local authorities.
ATM store. See who owns them. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not gonna try and break into them. Anybody, just don't worry about it. I mean, they're old. They gotta be obsolete by now.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about ATMs besides that they hold money.
mind.
Large quantities of hot cash.
There was nothing in the cash registers, so
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah.
What
But
about
anyway.
what about under the belts?
What
You know,
else?
like the belt. You place your grocery item on, and it slides. On
Yes,
the
I
belt,
did find some stuff under the belting cabinets.
like old food.
There were urine rags.
what?
For real.
What do you? How do you
They
know?
were
that-
like for the rug doctor.
yeah.
They were like little wet naps, but they say like urine things. They're for like you're wiping down like pet urine
Oh,
stains
okay.
before you do the rug doctor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you keep those just in case
I
havoc?
did. Well, I have 2 rug doctors now, so
That's nice.
yeah.
Are those in working order?
Yeah, we use it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You've got everything.
I got everything. I got pizza makers, got deep fryers.
Yeah. You asked me the other day, you're like, you want any pizza pans, shelving?
I got hundreds of pizza pans.
Really?
Hundreds.
Like just the flat ones, like the
No, like the deep dish,
real
pizza pans.
No kidding. Start a business.
Why don't you start a business?
You're good at starting
Alex needs to
businesses.
start a business. He's he's on the lam, if you will.
Oh yeah.
From work.
Lamb on the lamb.
Yeah, you've got
How's
a
your hand?
crooked wrist over there.
It's not crooked.
It looks crooked. I think they
Are you right-handed?
Yeah.
It just so happens you have a right-handed injury.
Yeah. Well, not an injury. I had surgery. Carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Does it did it work?
Yeah.
Does it feel better?
Crazy. Yeah.
Does your left one hurt more now?
Yes. It was insane.
Like it magnifies the pain from the left hand now. Because you probably notice it more.
The pain in the left hand wasn't nearly as bad as the pain in the right hand. But I haven't really felt a whole lot of feeling in my fingertips in 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I woke up and was moving them around, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
To actually have function of a hand.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had function to begin with.
So they move the tendon so it's got a shorter path.
So they cut the ligament that goes over the tendons and the nerve.
So
and
they
then-
cut open the carpal tunnel.
Yes. They cut the ligament,
The tunnel of the carpal.
and then he spread out everything and moved everything around. And he came back and he told me, he goes, yeah, everything was pretty tight in there.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder.
So
you
that's all they
needed
do? They just like cut you open and just like fluff it around
I
a
don't
little
know,
bit?
but I can't think of anything because he keeps saying things like tight and spread eagle.
Yeah.
it. I didn't say spread eagle. I said spread them around.
Oh.
That's close enough.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Yeah, to the next topic. Do you have any news, Christopher?
I don't. No, I don't really have any news. How about you?
I have one thing that I want to talk about, and I just want to hammer this home, that the movie Doolittle is awful.
Well, you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't, but everyone. It's like taking Twitter by storm.
I
It is
refuse to
taking
believe it.
the internet by storm because it is not a good movie. And can I tell you what the ending is? I'm going to tell you anyways, regardless of you wanting to know, because
Spoilers.
it is ridiculous.
Spoilers.
So Doolittle is a doctor, and they are going to save this queen lady, apparently. And she is in a dragon's den,
Okay.
and they find a dragon. The dragon's super mean, grumpy all the time. And you know why? Because he has a pair of bagpipes shoved up his rectum. So you know what the doctor does? Gives him a colonoscopy, pulls the bagpipes out, saves the day. That's the ending of this movie.
That sounds like a great movie.
Dude, I just want to see it
I wanna
more
see
now.
it, yeah.
So that's what so many people have said.
When he
They're like,
farts, does it make bag pop music?
as soon as he pulls the bagpipes out, it farts in Doolittle's face.
I love it.
immediately.
I love this.
Oh my
That's some good
gosh.
slapstick humor.
So-
How
right
did they
there.
get Robert Downey Jr.?
I have no idea. but
Lots-
apparently
lots of money.
he was for it.
What about the scene with the gorilla when he looks at him? He's like, "You don't have to be scared."
Yeah. Oh,
I
and
almost
then
cried in the trailer.
so John Cena is the voice of a polar bear in the
Okay.
movie. And as soon as he pulls the bagpipes out and then this dragon farts in his face, he says, "Teamwork makes the dream work."
Well, it does.
Yells
Jerry.
it out. It's just
It does make the dream
There's
work.
so many little catchphrases apparently in this movie that are just awful, like awful writing. That I need you to go see it
I'm going to go see it.
so that I can find out how terrible it is.
Heather wants to
And
take
if
the
you
kids.
say you
It's got like a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
and if you say you enjoyed this, you have no credit. Like after this, like you don't.
What if
Nobody
I say
can
I
take
like
you
it more than
seriously.
Star Wars?
Well, that would be ridiculous. You wouldn't be on this show anymore.
I mean,
I'd have to replace you.
we'll see. We'll see, Jerry. I don't know.
I don't know either,
looks
but
really
it just
good.
looks terrible. But there are so many people that have said that they've only wanted, now that they know that Dr. Doolittle does a colonoscopy to save a dragon or to like make a dragon nice, every single one of them have said, I need to see this movie now that I saw this or now that I've heard this. So I don't think it's doing any better business because of that, though.
Well, I probably won't see it just because I'm going on vacation soon, and I don't know how. I'm not gonna have time.
I don't know if there's going to be enough time.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've got too much recreating to do.
Yeah, we might go to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Alex has got time all day long.
He does. Go see Doolittle.
The wife wants to take the kids, so.
So how is this? How long are you off for? 6 weeks?
I've been off since December 6th.
Really?
Oh my god.
Thus this nice beard that I got growing.
Yeah,
and
this is pretty sweet.
yeah.
I like the Radium City brewing hat too. It's one of my favorite local brews.
Yeah, the last time you were here, I think you wore a
I
shirt.
wear it every time.
Radium City, you started that company with like 3 of your friends,
Yep.
right? They're in Ottawa, Illinois. They used to sell in liquor stores. They don't anymore, right?
No, they it became too much work
They're
for the
keg-
3 of them.
keg
They're
only.
keg only now. And I actually couldn't tell you where the kegs are being distributed to anymore because
I know they got it at what's the one out by 80?
Can you be a
Shakers.
Yeah.
Can you be a
And Red Dog.
like? I guess you can, but I was gonna say, can you be a profitable brewery by only selling kegs?
it takes a long time to make any profit. A long time.
I would think you make most of your money on the kegs because the overhead is so low. I mean, the beer
Sure.
itself costs very little to make.
Yeah,
I would assume. So
it's your bottling and packaging.
I would
that
say
would cost
what-
money, but
which
the
takes
the
way
bar
more
and
time.
the bar probably takes most of the markup. So when you're
yeah.
selling wholesale to the bar, they're selling it for a premium then because
Sure.
it's
Yeah,
a premium beer.
It's funny to see now, like, years of paying for craft beers at bars and what they're getting. Because I know that they're getting a 6th keg. A lot of places aren't getting a full half barrel. They're getting a 6th. So what they're selling per pint and
What it costs.
how much they're getting for that versus what we're selling them for wholesale, it's pretty crazy how much they're making on each keg.
Well, and the
No
thing is,
kidding.
like, they make amazing beer.
Yeah.
Like,
I-
really,
I-
I like craft beer, and I've tried a lot of craft beers, and nothing really ever wows me too much. But every single one of the Radium City beers I drink is phenomenal.
I've never had it. I don't know if I've
They have
ever had
one
it.
of my favorite stouts ever is Clock Out Stout
No
by
kidding.
them. It's like a standard. They got that Spaceman IPA stout, right? It's an IPA.
I've heard
stout.
of that.
No, the
Spaceman.
Spaceman Blackboard, that came later. That's just a black IPA.
A black IPA. That's pretty good, but none of their IPAs are strong and hoppy. They're
Really?
very subtle. which
Yeah,
is what I like.
we went for the more not
way more drinkable.
smack you in the face every time.
Yeah.
As much as the one guy, he's a hophead. That's all he wants is the most bitter thing that you can make. Give it to him.
I'm surprised
Really?
they haven't started
I
making
don't know
sours
if I'd
yet.
like that.
It's a lot of work. It's a
Yes,
lot.
it is, and it's got to be super fresh too, right?
Pretty much. Do you know
You
how
just use
sours
lemon.
started?
You just
No.
use lemon.
It's an infected beer.
Oh, really?
That's ultimately what it happened, but it's drinkable.
Like mad cow infected?
No,
or...
no. It's like, so, like when it ferments, it needs to be a completely closed container.
Right.
No air can get in it, so no bacteria or anything. Basically, what had happened was the first sour that was ever made, bacteria got into the fermenter somehow, and it soured the beer.
So is that similar to like a sour mash? Like
Yeah.
for whiskey?
Well, see,
no.
whiskey's distilled.
The process
You
is
still make a sour mash.
Yeah, but there's a completely different thing between a distilled alcohol and a fermented alcohol.
I understand, but for this, you are fermenting a grain to distill.
the beginning process
Not
is
for
both the
well,
same.
for
The beginning process
whiskey,
is the same.
yes.
Yeah.
There's
the thing
always
that-
a mash.
The thing that's interesting about whiskey and any liquor, honestly, is like they all make a big deal about the beginning process, but it's kind of all irrelevant after the distillation process.
Irrelevant?
Yeah, irrelevant.
Are you saying elephant?
Yes, callback. It's kind of all irrelevant because you're just ending up with clean ethanol, basically.
Right.
Or,
Absolutely. Well, you
whatever
got to make sure you're not getting 100% ethanol because you'll die.
Yeah, but basically you're getting straight whatever that chemical is, and then I mean obviously whiskey you're then aging in barrels, so that's where you're getting a lot of your flavor from. But do you think it really matters if you're starting from corn or rice or any other grain to make whiskey?
I think so.
You
yes.
think it carries through the distillation process because it is evaporated?
Well, I think it clearly does because every different whiskey that you've had that has different grains in it tastes differently.
but they're also aged differently.
Not all of them.
I don't think it makes as big of a
Not
difference.
all of
as
them
you
are,
think.
are aged differently. And then, like, for Scotch whiskey, they have a certain mixture of grain that is used for the mash.
I understand that, but I don't. What I don't know is if it actually makes a difference. So Scotch is aged completely differently than whiskey.
Well, it's
Okay.
aged in cherry.
Have you ever had like a rye bourbon versus a regular bourbon? Like bullet rye versus bullet bourbon?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Can
They're
you
different.
taste a difference in the two of them?
I mean,
Yes.
you can, but again, I think I don't know. Maybe some of that's just the age. They age them differently.
Not if you're aging them in a white oak barrel or a charred barrel. You could age them the exact same amount of time in
Yeah.
the exact same barrel,
I suppose you're right.
and it'll taste
Whiskey's
different.
one thing. I'm a little more skeptical when it comes to the clear alcohols like vodka.
That I would agree with. I don't know if that is a big difference because you can take. There's like potato vodka, and then there's what else? There's a bunch of other different kinds, but
Well, people swear by the differences in vodka, but when I was in college, I had a marketing class that
can't-
was a marketing statistics class. Anyway, in this class, we did a blind taste test of different vodkas. I don't know why this
well,
was happening.
that's quite the
but
class.
we had like 10 different vodka. I don't remember what the professor was trying to do other than maybe just we were just having
you
fun
drunk?
that day.
Yeah,
But we did a blind taste test with like Skull vodka and like Grey Goose and like Absolute and
Yeah.
like Svedka or whatever it's called.
Kettle One.
All like good whiskey or good vodka and bad vodka, but it was a 100% blind thing. Nobody could tell the difference between any of them.
That's because at the base of them, they're all mainly the same.
It's all the same, right?
Yeah.
It's just straight alcohol.
The biggest difference between them is how many times they're distilled.
Yes,
Like Smirnoff says it's triple distilled.
I get
That's
it.
true.
Yes,
They-
and maybe that does make it more pure.
Yeah. That's why you have less of a hangover.
People
when
say
you-
But-
that. I know
but-
people say that, but
but
I don't
flavor-
know. Some
but-
of that might be your perception.
but flavor and taste wise, they are. You cannot tell them apart. They're the same.
I mean,
It's vodka.
That's what I mean.
that's kind of what I
Same.
think. Now, like whiskey's not the case because the aging process changes everything. Tequila, same thing. A lot of other, even gin, that's aged in juniper berries after the distillation process. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, that's alcohol talk.
What other news you got, Jerry?
That's it. I didn't really have much. I know there is more. What was his name? Passed away today from Monty Python.
Oh yeah,
Terry Crews.
no.
No, he is not a British white male.
No, but I do really like Terry Crews.
I do too. He's really good.
But it was Terry Jones.
Terry Jones. Yeah, he
He was
was
one of
only
the original.
He was what 73,
77.
77. Still
young.
Pretty young. Yeah. He passed away, so that's sad news. And we were just talking about Monty Python a lot on our top 10 fantasy.
I don't remember who he was in that movie exactly, but yeah, I don't know. He's in He's in all those movies, but yeah.
Oh, there was another little piece of news that the first images of Captain America came out from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and there is a different white male in the Captain America suit standing at a government building holding a shield, which is supporting a theory that the government in this show, like the government, didn't want Falcon to be Captain America because
What?
of his because of what happened in Civil War. He did what was it called? He broke that treaty, or I can't remember.
The Sarkovia
Agreement. The Sarkovia Agreement. So I think the talk is that they're still holding that against him and said you cannot work for the government or be Captain America because of this. So they're giving it to somebody else. How he got the shield, though, nobody really knows. But unless they've made a different one, or if this guy is a fake, nobody really knows. But there is images of a white male in the Captain America outfit from filming. So
Huh.
we'll see what
Interesting.
happens there.
Wyatt Russell.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's all.
Is that Kurt Russell's son?
It's yeah.
Carrie Russell's Brother.
Yeah, brother.
Yep.
Is Kerry Russell Kurt Russell's son?
No, cousin.
Oh,
Auntie,
yeah.
maybe. Continue.
Should we do some what we're watching?
Yeah.
Well, I got one.
Oh, you got some news.
Just one, because I've had a lot.
Usually
of free
the
time.
guests don't bring news, so.
No.
I
yeah,
brought.
Thank you.
I brought legitimate
Oh, yes.
We should get into this.
because I've had a lot of free time.
He's got a free time, and Alex brought us a little gift. A gift.
For the future podcast studio.
Oh, for the future podcast studio, I will hold it up real quick
I'm gonna
so that
go
you
one
can see.
shot.
So you can see how big it is.
Yeah. All I know is it says fragile.
Fragile.
MCS Industries. I've always liked MCS Industries. Every time I've gotten anything there.
I will try to open this.
Just don't cut your hand. It's just Scotch tape.
Jerry is opening the package. Oh, he's doing a piss poor job at it.
You're gonna scratch it.
I'm pretty excited about this. I feel like it's some kind of a painting of some kind or a poster. Oh my gosh, it's a framed. Holy cow!
Oh, it's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle. Is that a puzzle you did?
Yeah.
Did you
You did
put
that
this
puzzle?
together?
Yeah, in about 6 to 8 hours.
And you had it framed?
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
Is it like glued?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
glued
you
to a
glued
board
it.
and then
No, just glued.
just glued on top.
Yeah.
How do you glue it on top?
Puzzle glue.
Oh, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Like you roll it on?
You just pour it on. It comes with a little scraper, and you just brush it all over.
Holy cow!
Wow,
Let
this is awesome.
let it
That's
dry
really
overnight.
cool, dude. That's super. That is definitely going onto my podcast studio wall.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
already have some Star Wars pictures, so that'll fit right in.
I did another one. It was a Batman with like all the villains and stuff in it, and I was gonna give that to you guys, but then I really liked it a lot, so
I don't blame you. I
kept
would
that one.
I would keep it too.
That one took me like 3 days. To
So
do.
you're a bit of a puzzle master.
You're a
now.
puzzler.
just something to do other than sitting.
I agree.
I mean,
Amy and I started doing puzzles.
Well,
we
you
got
can't
Grady.
really play video games, can you? Kind of.
Yeah, I can.
Have you played Fallen Order?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should play that.
He says it's one of the greatest games of all time.
I definitely did not say that.
Said it's probably the single greatest game
No,
ever.
it's not. It has a
created.
great ending though. It's not that great of a game, but it has a very good ending.
Yeah, and you said that made the whole game.
It did.
ending.
It made it worth it for me.
I'll have to look into it. I
Well-
still am waiting for that disc.
Anyway, thank you very much. We're definitely
Yeah.
gonna hang that up.
That's awesome.
Let me see that again. That had was that spanning all movies?
No.
Let's see. Oh, it's a New Hope, straight up, right?
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. I love that it's got Tarkin in it.
Yeah. Grand Moff.
That's really cool. Thank you. I'm not a big puzzle guy myself.
I like them.
You like puzzles?
Oh yeah, Amy and I started doing a puzzle over Christmas break. It's still sitting on a table,
Oh my god.
little card table in the house right now.
I
that we
just
haven't
don't get
finished
the
yet.
satisfaction out of it.
We spent 3 hours together just sitting there while the boys were like doing something. I don't know. We really did not pay attention to the children at all, and we sat there
They'll take care
putting
of
puzzles
themselves.
together. It was really fun, actually.
The last puzzle, the kind of one that threw me off puzzles, is when I was like probably in high school or so. For Christmas or something, I got I think it was called an Impossible, like impossible puzzle.
Okay.
That sounds terrible.
And it was like a whole puzzle that was the same. It was in an ocean, and it was the same picture of like this orange clownfish repeated over and over a million times.
No.
That's
Identical.
awful.
No.
And I'm like, okay, what is the point of this?
Yeah, that's not fun.
And then I also had around the same time frame one of those 3D Empire State Building puzzles.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what they were called now, but
Those are a pain.
yeah, that was super hard too, man. That was brutal.
Well, why were you choosing all these like
I didn't
incredibly
choose
hard?
the puzzles. The puzzles choose me, Jerry.
No, that one actually was pretty easy because it like
That one looks like it has a lot of different things, so
it's
it could
different
be
colors. So like you
Right.
just pour the pieces out.
Match all these colors together.
Everything that's got blue in it, and you grab all the blues, and then you sit there and you do it. But the Batman one,
It was all black.
no, because it was like Gotham City was in there.
Was
and
it what like vintage Batman, like 66?
It was
or-
actually a Thomas Kincaid.
Huh.
Here.
So it was like an original
Like
art
a
piece.
Yeah, like a commission.
Yeah. That's cool. We should do a Snarf Talk puzzle.
I think we really should have
don't-
one made. Can you have puzzles made?
For sure. For sure.
Can we just sit here and cut out pieces?
Like,
Yes.
can you see that?
Kind of.
Yeah, but we could totally have a puzzle made.
Oh yeah.
That could be if you're a
I don't know if you
patreon.com
could see it on
subscriber.
Can you see it up there?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, sorry. It's a Batman one where he's coming, like jumping in.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of black in that, and then the other thing was with all the buildings. Like I literally had to look at each piece, and then look at the poster that came with it.
Now, what Robin do you think that is? I mean, I know, but
I didn't even.
that's got to be Damian Wayne.
I didn't even pay attention.
I love Bane just kind of in the background there.
But then you had to
Oh,
look
that's
at
a
the poster,
Burgess Meredith penguin, too.
and
That's
then
sweet.
figure out which building it was.
Oh,
by
yeah.
by the way the windows looked. It was
It's a pretty cool one, actually.
pain.
How long did
thank
that
you.
take you?
The Batman one.
Yeah.
like 4 days. It was a pain.
Oof.
It
So
was
after
rough.
you recover, you're just going right back and getting the other hand done, right?
I don't know.
Oh, no, you were going to wait till next year, right?
I wasn't expecting for my hand to feel as good as it did.
And now you're like
And
spoiled.
I'm
You're like,
well,
give me that sweet, sweet surgery.
part of it is I'm already off, and I still have time that I can use.
What is it like going from, I don't know, 3-5 years, whatever it's been, of straight swing shift to then like 2 months off?
Well, after like the first 3 weeks, I caught up on all the sleep
Yes.
Yeah.
that I had been missing, and now I'm back into, because I'm a night owl. Like I can't sleep, and it's
Same as
I'm
me.
up till like 2-4 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
and then I sleep on the couch, and Heather gets mad. She's like, "Are you ever gonna come to bed?" I don't know.
Maybe. I
Well,
fall asleep out on the couch.
The last
in the chair
week's
all the
been
time.
easier because I'm supposed to keep my hand elevated. And the one time I slept in bed after like 5 days, I think I slept on my hand and my arm hurt the whole day the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
brutal.
So I'm like, nah, I'm sleeping on the couch
Yeah.
again.
Well, you've been planning a Disney trip. I know that because you're
I'm just
texting me
ballparking it.
or just bored.
Yeah. Well, the wife and I know that we need to get it. The kids are getting old enough to where they'll appreciate it. And
Yeah. They're at good ages for that.
yeah.
For sure.
We've had that conversation before
Oh, yeah, we did.
a couple times.
All right. So, Jerry, what have you been watching?
So again, I brought it up once before, but I haven't quite finished it yet. But because I only watch like one episode a night, and then I basically fall asleep. Is Jack Ryan? Boy, does
Oh,
that
yeah.
get
I've been
good.
watching that too.
It's good.
It is
I
good.
enjoy it a lot. I like it better than the first season, I think.
Definitely. It's really a solid show.
Yeah, it's so good. John Krasinski's amazing.
Yep, he is.
I don't know the other actor's name. He's good though too. He's like a good straight man, where he's just angry all the time.
Yeah, he was in Suits.
Well, I never watched that show.
He was in The Wire.
He was in The Wire too, yeah.
I haven't seen all of The Wire. I've seen it, but I don't remember him from it.
Yeah, he's in it. That's where he got his, I think that was his, first big thing.
He was his, whoever the main character is in The Wire, he was his best friend that was a cop. He was
Yeah, I
like his
don't
partner
remember.
for a little bit.
I don't remember that. I haven't watched The Wire in so long.
I know it's been.
I went
real
back,
long time.
in the last couple of years and tried to rewatch it because I don't remember it.
Yeah,
And I couldn't. The production value was,
not good.
it's too far back.
I loved it. I watched it a year ago. A year
Really?
and a half ago, yeah.
I'll give it another shot.
No kidding. Have you watched Jack Ryan, the new season?
I have not. The wife and I have been meaning to, and
Have you watched any of it?
we watched the first season.
first season?
The
Yeah.
week it came out.
Man, I like it a lot. It's different than. I like how it's similar, but it is different than what the first season was.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the action show that I needed
Yeah.
because we don't really have like a crime action show that is on Netflix or any other channel right now. Like you get the regular cop show.
Stumptown's pretty good.
Cop shows on ABC or NBC or things like that. But I'm talking like big budget
Yeah.
streaming show, Like they spent money on this show.
Yeah, it feels like they could have made a movie.
Yeah,
I'm glad they did.
really they could.
No,
I think this
it's so much better.
The series is way
I
better.
don't know, man. Movies are just
They're falling out.
Yeah,
they're
they
not
are.
cutting it anymore.
They are.
Not with Amazon. Like Amazon has made huge strides forward. It's I think surpassed all the other streaming channels. Maybe the exception being HBO, but they're putting out such amazing content. It's just not as on a regular.
That's what I was
basis,
gonna say.
but
It's few and far between though on what comes out.
relatively.
Netflix is just bombarding you with content, and it's mediocre.
But a lot of it's mediocre.
So much.
But
It's almost too much.
Oh, here is some news that I did hear. I read just today before I came is that Netflix released that The Witcher is now the highest or like the most streamed show in Netflix history.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad of that.
On top of it beat The Office. I find that impossible to believe.
No, I'm saying for like Netflix
original.
originals.
Oh, okay.
Better than
Okay.
Stranger Things?
For Netflix original shows, according to them, they never put out any numbers, and you never know if Netflix is like really telling the truth or not on a lot of the things that they've reported for users and views and whatnot. But they're claiming, as of right now, that The Witcher is the most streamed show in Netflix.
Well, for
history.
good reason. It's amazing. So
It is, and there's so many people that have watched that show.
it's really caught hold too. They
that I would
released the
never
soundtrack,
think.
and they've released that one song as a single now.
Yeah.
and it's charting.
It is because it's
crazy.
so awesome, and it gets buried into your skull, and it'll never leave.
Toss a coin to your witcher.
So good.
Oh, valley of
Keep going.
plenty. Oh, valley of
There's a guy on
plenty.
YouTube that I follow,
Oh.
Leo.
Maraccielli?
Yes.
Or Maraccioli.
Yes,
Frog Leap
Leap Studios. He did a version of that song.
I
and
want
it's
them
so
to
good.
get the Chocolate Rain guy to do it.
Chocolate Rain guy.
Chocolate Rain.
Oh, no.
Toss a coin to your witcher.
Oh, valley of plenty.
Tezande.
Tezande. Yes, that's his name.
How did you know that?
Tezande.
That's
I
funny.
used to work in an office where I'd be given 2 hours of work and was told make this last the rest of the day. So
So you
don't
listen
get
to
don't get
Chocolate
caught on
Rain?
the internet.
Chocolate
Lots of
Rain.
YouTube. You know how you get into like YouTube wormholes and
yeah.
just next video.
Yes, I do. I know how that works. So the next thing I watched, I've only got 2 things here that I've been watching
Good,
in
because
the
I got
last
a
week.
ton.
Is I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the whole Aaron Hernandez
Oh,
killing.
Marley
thing.
watched that.
It's interesting.
Yeah, she said Marley said it's not good.
I don't
but
think you can-
kind of can't stop watching it.
Right. You can't rate this on good or bad because it's just telling you. It's just like telling you the narrative of how this man went from playing football all the time in his life to getting into trouble and ending up killing people and continuing on with his football career like nothing happened, and then being arrested and end up killing himself. And the bad part, this is just my opinion though. So there is a story, like an underlying story of him being a closet homosexual.
Yeah.
They say that he possibly was gay, but he wouldn't tell anybody out loud.
I mean, it sounds like he was.
Yeah, it sounds like he was, but to me it looks like they're playing that off as to why he was killing people.
Okay.
When in reality, like that CTE brain issue that people get from the NFL, that is a proven thing where it literally affects your brain.
And they autopsied the brain. They said it's one of the worst they've ever seen.
Exactly. So,
But that's still not an excuse because there's a lot of
I'm not-
people out there
no,
with
no, no.
CTE that don't murder people.
No. I'm not saying it's an excuse to murder people. I'm saying, why would you put a show out that you're kind of pinpointing his homosexuality as why he was aggressive and killing people, rather than say like, well, his brain was so damaged that the real cause was probably because of this brain damage that he had, rather than him just being aggressive because he's hiding
And I didn't see all of it, but Marley pretty much told me everything about it. It sounded to me like they were making the case for like it's a bunch of things, like a terrible home life, a bad thing happened when he was a kid,
Yes.
closeted homosexuality, CTE.
Yes.
The whole CTE thing to me is fascinating because I'm going to go on record right now. I will never let my kids play football.
No, and
It's just not going to happen. There's too much evidence out there now, especially when they're young and developing.
yeah, Amy's in the same boat.
It's
and
ridiculous.
At first I was against that. I was like, what? They could play football. But then again, like the more and more you see about so many injuries and so many
And
like,
now they know it's
hidden
not big
injuries.
hits. It's the little,
Yeah.
the everyday, the practices.
It's the
constant nature of it. And don't get me wrong, you get CTE from things other than just football.
Sure.
I mean, you can get the little traumatic brain injuries from, racing, from driving that car, from going
Yeah.
over, but
from driving
it's-
go-karts.
It's magnified
you could get it
in
from
football
anything.
significantly. And I
Just
I don't
because
see the
there's
point.
so much head contact, even though you can say like there's no head-to-head hitting and you can't lead with your head, things like that. It doesn't matter.
I don't think the sport's going to be long for this world at the
I don't think it'll go.
kid and high school level.
Oh yeah, at the under high school level for sure. I think we'll still see it at the high school level for quite a while because it is an enormous
I don't
thing
know how you
down
can get
south.
it out of the South.
Texas,
You can't.
It won't never
Georgia,
happen.
Alabama, like all those states are huge into football. I mean, you
Towns
won't get it out.
closed
Of them.
down
Morris,
I know.
Illinois.
on Friday nights.
Right, Redskin pride. You know,
No, it's crazy. But I mean, the evidence is insurmountable at this point.
they were showing CT scans of brains and stuff of they did a Junior Seau
Yeah.
because he had committed suicide, and they showed his brain compared to a normal brain, and it just doesn't even look representative of what a normal brain would look like.
It's so crazy too because a lot of the damage. It's an interesting topic. We talked about it a lot in college and in psychology classes, but a lot of the damage occurs to the frontal lobe,
Yeah,
and it's not specific.
frontal cortex.
Yeah, and that is the part of your brain that's responsible for like understanding that consequences have actions, like long-term planning.
Well, isn't it like
Impulse control.
decision making?
Yeah, all of those things.
Yeah.
Impulse control, decision making. So, like, there's a lot of arguments in the psychology world that when you start to look at prisoners and repeat prisoners and people that are in jail, a lot of times what you find is that they have underdeveloped or abnormally developed or damaged frontal cortexes. And some of that's caused by nutrition in the womb and at a young age. So that frontal cortex develops a lot in the later part of pregnancy and then early in the first 5 years of life. And if you don't have the right nutritional setting, like it will underdevelop that frontal cortex and it will basically can put you on a path to
So
a
you're
lot of
saying
problems.
like malnutrition in the womb creates
can.
gangsters.
Yeah, I mean that's
bad people.
That's part of the argument, and the argument is that can you take people in prison, and when they have had this situation happen to them, now they have this badly developed frontal cortex, so they have no impulse control is a big thing,
right.
with that, and also like understanding consequences of your actions. So can you really put those people to blame for some of the actions that they're committing because they literally don't have.
Yeah.
And you can have
It was
damage
completely
to the,
out of their.
yeah, it's out of their control. And you can have damage to that frontal cortex and not be, I'm not saying like you have a disability, like mentally. Like you literally just cannot you cannot control your impulses. So like
But
a
also-
situation where you might be spurred to violence, you can't damper that down and think about like, well, if I do that, it's going to lead to this series of actions that's going to fuck up the rest of my life.
But beyond the nutrition part of it, isn't it true that your whole frontal cortex isn't even developed until you're 25?
That's true. 100% true.
So everything that happens before the age of 25 that you're doing to your head as if playing football
Yeah.
or some sort of contact sport could be detrimental to that progress.
Not just that. Cigarettes, alcohol,
Sure.
all these kinds of things. And the science isn't truly settled on the 25. That's just kind of they're guessing at that
Early
time frame.
20s though, right?
But 25 is what they're going with now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people and that's why teenagers are so stupid. That's why they don't think about their future.
And and when they do, it's completely irrational.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
And it gets better and it gets more developed the older you get. But even
And
at 21 years old, you don't know what you're doing.
And that's when you start to have that, like at 30 or 35 or whatever, you start to have that hindsight of like, man, why was I doing that? Or why did I think that?
Your life changes dramatically at 25 years old.
I agree. I really do agree with that, looking back on it. But the only, you've lived through it already, so it is easier to say, well, obviously I was going to do that wrong because you've already lived it. But I would agree with you that something changes in everybody's life after a certain point in their 20s. Whether it be 25 or not, I can't pinpoint it. But I know for a fact something changed in my brain,
Yeah.
After a certain point. Because I was dumb as a brick in my early 20s. I know that much.
Yeah, I mean, the impulse control, the consequences, but also like the arrogance of youth. I mean, that's all attributed to that frontal cortex. So it's an interesting argument that people that are in prison that have had these issues, like, should they even be in prison? You know what I mean?
How do you
assign blame?
Yeah, but how do you wade through that?
Right.
How do you? I mean, if they've still committed a crime, regardless of their
let
frontal
me reframe
cortex,
it.
like you said before, like that doesn't give him the reason to kill someone.
Correct. Let me reframe it. Should we be addressing the problem differently? Should we be addressing it for prenatal care? Should we be addressing it through child nutrition? Should we be addressing it through things like that in a way that's going to have a more beneficial impact towards what happens 20 years down the road?
Right. And I do think, like the full contact sports under a certain age should just not happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So there you go. That's the show I watched.
Alex is here too, folks.
What about smacking your kids around? Is that okay?
Yeah. To us, it's just it can't be repetitive.
Like
hit them once and put them down. The first time.
Right.
Get up, I dare you.
You make it count. And make sure their head doesn't hit the floor after you hit them.
Well, you
That's
can't.
2 hits.
That can't happen.
I usually don't even have to do that.
That's borderline.
My son deals his own damage to himself.
Yeah.
He fell off the couch earlier this afternoon and smacked his head off the recliner.
As long as it's not 3 times their height. That's what I've been told. At 3 times.
Who told you that?
Mike Kinsella.
Okay.
But that's what apparently that's what they say is if your kid falls from less than 3 times its height, you're good. If it's over 3 times their height, you got to take them to the ER.
I mean, yeah, I would agree with the over 3 times your height thing going to the ER, but under 3 times their height, I still think you could get pretty severe damage.
Cash tripped on the pavement and broke his jaw. So
exactly.
How high was that slide that your kid fell off of?
That was way more than 3 times the height.
He fell.
But he fell in rubber mulch.
He did. So. He shot out of the
I don't
side
care if
of
it
that.
was rubber mulch or not. That boy was scratched up, and I felt terrible.
Yeah. I didn't feel bad for him at all. I didn't.
Kid had it coming.
You could see that he was fine.
He had it coming. The problem is the prefrontal cortex. He didn't have good impulse control.
And it's definitely not going to grow right after that. No.
He should have thought,
He's
I'm
fine.
soaking wet.
Don't put soaking wet kids on slides.
I shouldn't go down this slide.
Yes. And
it's his fault.
they were being yelled at prior to this about not going down that slide. And he chose not to listen. And he shot straight off the side of it. Unbelievable.
All right, we got to keep this moving. We got 12 minutes.
You have 11 minutes.
Alex, what have you been watching? What do you got?
I have been watching
Everything.
a lot of stuff. So I finished The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Did all that.
Did you toss a coin?
Yeah. What was your take on The Witcher?
I've-
You can take your time, but don't feel rushed.
I've never played the games, read the book, nothing. So like,
You coming from blank.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
And if they don't address them,
Oh, they will.
like,
I'm sure.
how did he get his powers? And
she left him.
and it took me.
They kind of addressed that a little
It
bit.
took me
His mom.
till like
left him.
there was 8 episodes, so like the 6th episode before I realized that it was jumping between time periods.
Yes.
And I was like, oh,
Here's what you needed to do.
all right.
Number one thing you needed to do while this show was going on is listen to Snarf Talk, because we would have addressed it for
Yeah,
you.
but see, I'm like 3 episodes behind on you guys.
Oh,
Here's the deal.
Because I purposely...
Humans stole elven magic They started to have
Elephant magic?
elven magic. They
Sorry,
had
are you saying
mages.
elephant?
They had a mage order, whatever. They destroyed the elves, essentially, cast them off. They started making human hybrids that were sterile, that had could harness the power of magic. Those are the Witchers.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, they hunt monsters.
They're hired to.
Yeah,
They're like,
and there's other genetic mutants.
yes.
Like a lot of the monsters are.
But the Witchers are becoming more and more scarce because they just
Because people hate them, so they're
Right.
and nobody's volunteering for it,
and they're sterile,
They're sterile.
and they're not making any more Witchers.
Well, and then that was another thing that I couldn't figure out because
They also live like forever.
that girl looks like she has the exact same eyes as him. So it's like
She's,
She's
a
a
mage,
mage. Yeah,
so she can also control magic.
she can control
Okay.
some serious magic.
because she screams and everything.
You mean
explodes.
Yennefer of Vandenberg?
No.
Who you
She's got
talking about?
purple eyes. I'm talking about the girl that he's supposed to meet in the woods, his destiny.
Oh,
Siri?
yes.
Yeah, we don't really
Siri.
know yet about her, and I don't know about her either. So.
But like you look at the way her eyes are
Yeah,
and
maybe.
the way his eyes are, like they look almost
she's
the same. Plus,
apparently
she's
some
got
kind of chosen one.
white
She is
hair.
definitely. She
and-
has the same thing that her mother had, who
she's
had
a-
the same thing that her grandma had, but it skipped. Skipped the one
Might be a
lady.
natural mutation.
That queen woman that got into the big fights and was like actually in the
Right.
sword fight battles. It skipped her,
Right.
but her daughter.
She hates elves.
Yeah, she's not
Elves.
a fan of
Elves.
elves.
Elephants.
Elves.
Carrie
Elves.
We met him.
Yeah, I just saw him in something. Anyway, go ahead. Go on. Go on.
I finally went and watched Star Wars. It was.
The Rise of Skywalker.
I liked it.
Oh, that's not a glaring.
It was. It was
wasn't
like you said it like you were mad at us.
No, I'm not. I haven't even listened to you guys'. Like I said, I'm 3 episodes behind. So
Oh no, I like it.
it was good.
We do some nitpicking.
Can I see like the points that everybody makes and would I have
Absolutely.
maybe rather have seen somebody else's
Version.
writing?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like Colin, was it Trevorrow?
Trevorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing going on right now. His script got leaked and everybody loves it apparently.
Yeah, apparently everybody
Got
loves it.
some
I don't-
issues. I kind of read it.
Did you read it? I never
Eh.
looked into it.
I didn't read the whole script, but
Finished Mandalorian before that. I did watch Gemini Man the other day.
oh, how was that? I've been wanting to see that.
Yes.
It got terrible reviews.
It's yeah.
It was a
really?
huge bomb at the box office.
It's not.
It's not good.
It's a good 2 hours of just. All right, this is an action movie and it's Will Smith.
I like Will Smith
It's
action
like
movies though.
Will Smith times 2.
It is, but
How could you not like that?
I've heard that the de-aged Will Smith looks exactly like the aged Will Smith.
he kind of like
I mean,
they could have.
He looks good for his age.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
does.
like they could
There's
have
a reason why they say black don't crack.
looked at a video of like
Okay.
Fresh Prince
Am I not allowed to say that?
and used
No, you
that
can say whatever you want, Chris.
rather than just okay, this is Will Smith now and taking his face and
They should have
CGI
just
it.
taken his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air face
right.
and put it on a guy.
Finished Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I haven't seen any
I
of
have
it.
not watched any of it yet.
And see, you talk about an action on TV.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
CW budget for those. It's
Right.
just it was awesome.
Was
Really?
it?
Yeah. The whole Oliver Queen arrow. It's rough.
I'm gonna
like
tell you right
emotional,
now.
emotional
Oh, yeah.
rough.
Last
yeah.
week we did our top 10 TV comic book adaptations.
Correct.
Right? It's
Yes.
not out yet. Well, it is now, but as of right now, it's not out.
Yeah.
Arrow was number 5 on my list, right? Yeah.
It was my number 3.
Arrow was not your number 3.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4.
No,
It was in
you
my
didn't
top
even
5.
have it in your top
Oh,
10.
Arrow. I was thinking Flash.
You had
I'm thinking of
Flash.
Flash. Sorry.
The only CW show I had on my list of top 10 was Arrow.
See, I like Arrow better than Flash.
Me too.
So does
Definitely.
he.
And
I love Arrow.
I watched Arrow before I watched Flash
Same
because
here.
to me,
I watched Arrow from the get-go.
I started
Right.
Arrow
and
when
I
it first
only
came out.
I'm only a season behind right now. So
and to me, the Flash is just so much cheekier. I don't know. It's just
Yes, it's
It's
completely
not,
different than
it's
Arrow.
So,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
so light and
Yeah, the Arrow is heavy and
Yeah.
See, and that's what I love is heavy, dark
yeah.
stuff. I don't know why I haven't ever been into that.
And Felicity,
smoke
She's something.
in. Supernatural is in its last season, so that's
oh my
That's
god,
still going on?
Jesus!
final season. Final season.
Holy cow.
If you want to catch up, you only got 14.
No, you got like, what, 27
this is
seasons?
the 16th season. No, the show that the wife and I, Heather and I, have been watching, which has 333 episodes.
What's that?
ER.
There's that many episodes.
Oh,
of ER?
yeah.
There's
ER
probably that many
ran
episodes of
for-
Grey's Anatomy right now.
Oh, yeah, I bet you there is.
There's 18 or 19 seasons or something. I don't know. But we started.
I did not know ER was on that long.
I watched
We
ER
started
like
that.
back in the 90s.
In the
So did I.
heyday.
I did
Like
with
our
my
whole
mom.
family would watch it. Yeah.
We did too, yeah. Back when George Clooney was... Once George Clooney left, everybody dropped off.
And other dude,
Mark
Goose.
Green. Yeah.
Yes.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Man, you're good with names.
Yeah.
You're not.
I as soon as we start recording, I forget everything.
All right, what else you got?
That's it.
That's it? Oh, that's easy. All right, I got mine real quick. I'll try and do them real fast. I've been watching the new season of 24 Days to Hell and Back. I am a huge fan of Gordon Ramsay.
As am I.
Kitchen Nightmares was one of my favorite shows of all time.
So good.
This is basically Kitchen Nightmares.
I like his
A little bit.
AT&T commercial.
Which one's that?
They,
Use the cocktail stick.
oh,
yeah. They, with this 24 Hours to Hell and Back, they add a little bit more.
he's only got... They're
Right.
not as dire... The restaurants aren't as dire as they were in Kitchen
It's kind of
Nightmares.
just a...
Kitchen Nightmares, the British version,
I love it.
is the best.
I love it.
Is this the one where he dresses up
Yeah.
in like costume?
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Because clearly everybody knows what's going on.
Undercover
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah.
Why are these cameras?
I just
here?
love Gordon Ramsay.
I do
I
too.
know, like, a lot of people hate him.
I don't know
I
why.
don't get it. I watch his YouTube videos, and I've learned
So
so
do I.
much more about cooking.
I've done it for years. Watch his
Yes,
videos,
and they're so good, and they're simple.
and the biggest thing is like scrambling eggs.
Oh,
like-
he makes he's got the best one about making an omelet.
Yes,
And,
omelets are so
his steak one about making a steak
yeah,
is the best way to cook a steak ever.
hands down.
Period.
Yes, I agree.
And I do it. That's
All
the
of
only
his
way I
food.
cook steaks now, and it's the only way I cook omelets now, and eggs.
He
Because
has
of his
a
videos.
a teaching show that was only on BBC, but it's on YouTube now, and it's amazing. It's
I
like
just love like his passion for it, but also like that he really conveys a lot of emotion.
he does.
like,
Everything
he-
he talks about is like he's in love with this food.
Well, not
right
even
now.
that though. Like he cares. Like I feel like he genuinely cares about what he's doing, and he just seems like a really genuine person.
I completely agree.
I've only been to one of his restaurants once in Las Vegas, and it wasn't like one of his nice restaurants. It was like one of his burger bar restaurants. And it was really good. But I'd like to go to Vegas to go to one of his 5 Vegas restaurants
Yeah.
that are all Michelin star rated.
Yes, I would too. I've never been to any of them.
So that's what I've been watching that, and I'm enjoying that. I started watching the new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's just Curb. It's right back in it, man.
Yeah, it's Curb.
Love
you
it.
can't go wrong with that.
I love
if
it.
Larry David's involved, you know it's going to be good.
I absolutely love it. I got one I gave up on. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
You gave up on it?
Threw in the towel.
Did you really?
Just
Is this the second or third season?
third season.
Third season. Because I thought you liked this first and
I
second.
did, but there's too much other stuff to watch right
I know.
now. I
Yeah.
can't do it. Carrie Elwes is in the new season.
You've got to. You really do have to pick.
There's only so many
what's
things I can
the
watch.
cream of the crop?
Yeah.
You know.
I've only done that with one show,
What's that?
The Walking Dead.
You threw in the towel?
I did
there's
too.
Too many seasons.
Unfortunately, I threw in the towel at the last season as well.
did
When they
too.
made the 10-year time jump,
I didn't even get to that.
yeah.
No, I wasn't even close to that.
They got a new show coming out this spring, a new Walking Dead show that's 10 years in the future, and it deals with the second generation that has been living in.
Just
I actually thought that sounds interesting.
It does kind of sound
People
interesting.
like kids that grew up in the post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
world of,
yeah, I would be in for that.
and they
I
got
think.
2 movies coming.
I only
This
made
is
it
too
through
much.
the very first season where Jeffrey Dean Morgan was.
He's tough.
Where Negan was actually
Me
part
too.
of, like a full part.
Me
of the
too.
whole
That's what
season.
we were just talking about the other day on the show. Is
He's
that
a little too much to handle.
that's all I saw was that very first
Well,
show.
he is in the comic book too. He's he's a major role in that series
For sure, but I feel like he's a little more...
Palpable.
I don't know. In the comic book, he is like the epitome of evil, and in the TV series, they try to like.
He's the epitome of annoying.
Well,
Yeah,
I
kind
think
of.
they have to do that.
They try to make him like a sympathetic villain.
Well, you look at his dialogue in the book. They can't put that on AMC.
Right.
So they probably have to up his dialogue in the show.
Well, I think it's also an issue of when you do something like that in comics, like it's easy to just think of like, oh, that's the evil bad guy, and this is that. But when you do it on TV and then you see the guy that you've seen in a million other things, and you're like, oh, well, he's not such a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy.
I don't know. I just think it
he's
doesn't
nice.
translate to film as well, or digital.
Yeah, that's why I quit watching the show, and I think that's why everyone else should have.
I'm still gonna. I'm gonna catch up back the rest of the last season.
It's so much.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was so repetitive. It was
was.
the same thing over and over again.
Honestly, that's not the problem. The problem is that on
For you.
an individual episode to episode basis, nothing happens.
Right.
Nothing happens to advance the story forward.
No.
And all the story is given to you in season premieres, season and mid-season
Midpoint,
breaks,
yeah.
mid-season coming back, and season finale. Everything else in the middle is complete filler.
And it's so boring.
And see,
It's character development, but
I feel like
Some of it,
the show
yeah.
that did that the best was Breaking Bad.
or lost.
I
Because
agree, but
I mean,
Breaking
Lost did
Bad,
that
you
too.
had a huge episode, and then 2 or 3 episodes where it was not a whole lot happened.
I still feel like they advanced the story so much. I mean, they had to have advanced the story so much faster because it was
There
5
was a lot of
seasons.
middle episodes that were
They're slow, and it's
Very slow.
But when you get to that next big climactic episode, those smaller, slower episodes make more sense.
I think every episode at the end of Breaking Bad.
definitely at the end of every episode they left you with a
That's
little
what I
bit,
mean.
a
Like
little
at
something.
the end of every episode, you gained something from it. I agree with you. The first 35 minutes could have been slow.
Yeah.
I agree.
They've also announced the last season of a little bit of news.
Yes.
Better Call Saul,
And they said that
which is a better show than.
And they said Walter
Breaking Bad.
White and Jesse Pinkman could be making an appearance.
I'm sure they will. Okay, new show I started watching. Only one episode out. HBO. It's called Avenue 5, starring Hugh Laurie and Josh Gad.
Really?
And they're on a
They're on a
space
ship.
cruise.
What's
Cruise
it on?
ship. It's on HBO.
It's on
Avenue
HBO.
5. It's chock full of comedy stars. It's getting terrible reviews, but I really, really enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought it was really
So,
funny. It's a comedy.
It caught my attention when I first saw it, like a trailer or preview for it. So I didn't realize it was out already, though. So I'm gonna need to check it out.
Yeah, only one episode. But I thought it was great.
Is it week by week?
Yeah, week by week.
Okay.
But I really thought it was. I think it comes on after Curb or whatever. But I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to keep watching it. And I like Hugh Laurie in anything.
It's getting really bad reviews from one episode.
Yeah. So Watchmen got bad reviews
It did.
after one episode, and those people ate crow
Are dumb.
because that's the best show.
All
the
of
year.
those people have been fired.
Yeah. I started watching a little show called Peaky Blinders.
That's
You-
one that I want to start watching.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it either.
I watched the first episode
Of
three
the
times,
first- of the
'cause I
first
fell
season?
asleep 3 times during it. I find it very hard to get through. But I did finish it and watched the second episode, and I fell asleep 3 times watching the second episode. So we'll see how that goes.
You just can't. Like, what do people do? They have to sing and dance in front of you? Like, you have to watch the story play out.
This has happened 3 times in my life. I've tried to start this show, and I'm just having the hardest time with it.
I think you've got a thing in your brain, like just a mental ninja in your brain
Maybe.
that tells you have to hate it because I like it.
I'm gonna keep on it
That's why.
for you. I'm gonna keep going.
No, I don't want you to watch the show.
I started watching a new show called The Unicorn. It's on one of those old-fashioned thingies called like network television.
That sounds terrible.
It's got Walter Goggins in it, though. It's the only reason why I started watching
okay.
it.
I knew I've heard of it.
Because I love Walter Goggins. And it's kind of... I've missed some of the first episodes. I came in late.
Never heard of it.
I've watched 2 episodes now.
Isn't he a con man or something?
No, he's like it's like a family comedy drama. His wife dies, and he's like navigating the world of having daughters and dating, and it wasn't bad.
And he finds the unicorn.
He is the unicorn.
He is the unicorn, Jerry.
He's the unicorn? Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I get the show.
But it's a really drama-heavy comedy. So at times it feels like a sitcom, but at times it's weepy.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I get it.
I don't know that I'm gonna keep watching it.
Probably won't.
And I've been watching the new season of Doctor Who.
Oh, Chris. I've wanted to watch it.
I've watched the first 2 episodes, and they're great.
Here's the crappy part about the way BBC does things is that you can't watch any of the... I can't watch
You never
any
know
of the
when
previous...
they're going to come on, or...
And I don't know any of the previous episodes. I don't have cable or satellite or anything anymore.
Yeah.
And so if I want to
though.
try to... I know you do. And I can't record it. That's the thing. The only way you could basically get them is if you set your DVR to record that show, because you never know when it's coming on.
What about the BBC app?
So, yeah, I could pay for another app. I could do that.
No,
And
I don't have to pay for the app.
why?
Because if you have a DirecTV subscription,
Right.
you can get the app.
Exactly.
Use his.
For me personally, I would have to buy the app.
No, you
and
don't.
then
You just have
watch
to get
the
somebody
show.
else's login.
I don't think BBC's listening.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
Big Brother's always listening.
first 2 episodes are great. It's my first experience with the new Doctor. I didn't see the last season at all.
So you didn't go back and watch the first
not
season
yet.
of the
No,
female Doctor?
I haven't. Didn't care. It was really fun. It was a really good, really good.
Cool.
Honestly, I enjoyed it. It made me feel reminiscent of like Matt Smith, Doctor Who. Completely different creators now though on this show. So
Just real quick, we've really never talked about Doctor Who very
haven't.
much on this
haven't.
podcast, but Doctor Who probably has a bigger part of my emotion and heart than almost any show that we've ever talked about.
yeah, and it was also integral into the beginning of our friendship.
Absolutely was. It was the start of it.
Yeah.
It was.
It's because of a little time when we had a little drunken argument where I said, hey, we both love Star Wars. And I said something along the lines of, you got to check out Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I think I might like it as much as Star Wars.
And
And it
about
blew
fell
his
over.
mind.
I was like, no way. It's not possible. I remember saying that to you multiple times. It is not possible. And you're just talking because you're drunk. And then I started watching it. And you said, you're like, the first season, the 9th Doctor, you're
2005.
you've got to get through that season. Once you're done with that, production gets better and the story gets better. You'll like it. Boy, did it. David Tennant stole my heart. He stole my heart. And then I was like, you can't change this Doctor. So the catch with Doctor Who is that they will change into other physically looking people. It's the same Doctor. It's the same Time Lord, but their physical appearance is different. And I did not want him to go so bad. I was like,
He didn't want to go.
This is ruined.
It was David Tennant, but I'm not ready, right?
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
Something along those lines. But yeah, it was a very emotional season finale.
It was. And I thought it was
And
ruined
then
after
he became
that.
a little bit of a goofy Matt Smith Doctor Who. And then it was but bam, Karen Gillan.
Yep. Yes.
Amy Pond.
You're right. Then Amy Pond came into the picture, and I was like, I'm in. I'm in. And Rory. Rory was good, too.
Rory was great. Oh, man, when he becomes the Roman soldier and lives 1,000 years to be back with her.
Yes. That was unbelievable.
And then we both kind of dropped off with Capaldi.
That's where I
That's
dropped
where I
off.
dropped.
Yeah, because
That's
it
where I
wasn't-
completely dropped off.
wasn't
He's not
good.
good.
He is
angry.
good. He's good, but
So angry.
I need to go back. I never watched his second season.
There's a couple good episodes with.
There's several good episodes in there.
There's a couple good episodes with the I.S. Stark.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I can't remember what her character was. It was like the girl who died and the girl who lived.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the name of those 2 episodes. Those were really good.
You know who Capaldi reminded me of when he was the doctor? House.
Kind
It was
of,
like
yeah.
House was the doctor.
Yeah.
And
I would agree with you.
I was just like, nah, stick to medicine.
I love House.
Not time. Yeah.
I did love that.
Then they had
show.
the new female doctor came out, and I thought, all right, that's interesting. But
And
I
she
wasn't
looks
caught up on the
great.
last season. So I'm like, well, I can't watch this because I got to watch the last season.
That's the way I feel.
And then I
about it.
didn't watch it. And then finally this season started, or I don't know if it's a mid-break season. I don't know what it is. But
No, this is a brand new season.
I'm like, you know what? I'm starting over. Fuck it.
So what I
it's
noticed
great.
When I was like looking into the episodes, they're only shooting or putting out like 8 episodes now, 8 to 10 episodes of Doctor Who rather than going long with them.
Okay.
They've shortened the seasons quite a bit.
I think they did that with Capaldi too.
The very last season of Capaldi, but the first 2 he was on were like 15
Okay.
15 or 16 episodes. But then the last one he did was like 9, and then the first season of the new female Doctor was 8, and I'm assuming this one's going to be short like that as well. But
Well, apparently she's been very good for the ratings.
really?
So, yeah.
That's what I've heard. She's been very good. So.
She's good. I don't know that she is yet. Like, I'm enjoying her as the doctor as much, but the storylines have been very good.
Okay.
Her as the doctor is different. She doesn't seem as
Timey-wimey.
capable.
Really?
Like, I don't want to say capable, but like,
Is that a female slight?
no, I feel like, like the last couple doctors, like, they couldn't be in a situation that they couldn't figure out immediately.
That's true.
And her, I don't know. But I've only seen 2 episodes, so
Okay.
we'll see. And that's really it. That's all I've been watching. I haven't been watching that much. So.
I've been watching one other thing I remembered.
Oh, what is it?
The final season of Vikings.
Oh,
You know?
I just hear such good things about
It's
that.
a
know.
good show.
I saw the very first season of it on History Channel back in the day, and I hadn't followed up after that.
They're all on Prime, minus the final season. Which
So
is
did
on
it get
History Channel.
transferred over to as an Amazon thing? Do they own History Channel?
No,
or-
it's still on History Channel. Just the seasons 1 through 5 are all free on Prime.
Okay. How many seasons are there? 6?
So they're in the 6th and final season.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to watch that then. I have heard good things. That's Pagoda. It's a huge fan of Vikings.
Yeah.
So
All right, so we're going to go, and we should have talked about this earlier.
we never did. We haven't
forgot.
prefaced any of this.
Our main topic of the night, an hour and 12 minutes in, is we're going to do our top 10
Game shows.
television game shows.
Game shows.
Hour 12,
I'm
that's not
excited.
bad.
No, it's not bad.
I'm excited about it because
We'll have to cruise through a little bit.
I love game shows.
I do too. And we asked, Alex was going to be on, and we had no idea what we were going to do. And that's the first thing you jumped to. So why?
Because I've had them done for months.
Because
Are
are you a game show fanatic?
No. I think I threw out the idea at one point.
You did.
And then you
Yeah,
guys said.
But on the
somebody-
last episode, that was the first thing you jumped to. Game shows. If we do game shows, I want to be on.
And I guarantee you what we
said
said
that.
was it would be a great topic for David Seedentop to
we
be
did.
on.
And then we actually were going to do it with David.
Yeah.
And he chickened out.
We've been calling him. He ignores us, sends us to other messages.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like 3 months ago we talked about it and said we were going to do it. So I was
Well, now we're doing it.
drinking with Heather at the bar and we threw a list down.
Nice. Well, I'm ready for it because I love game shows. And game shows have been a huge part of my life. Everybody's lives.
Everybody's-
growing up.
everybody's.
But as a kid, especially, you're really into game shows. But then a little thing
know.
happened. Like when I was in high school, we got Prime Star satellite television.
Okay.
The
And you got the
precursor.
Game Show Network.
Yeah, the precursor to DirecTV, and we got the Game Show Network. And I feel like that was a game changer, no pun intended.
It was.
Because I was opened up to a whole new world of like 70s and 60s game shows that, I never had seen before, but were just absolutely amazing. And I just watched them all. And then
Yeah.
a whole bunch of new, a lot of them were shitty, but like
Yeah.
new game shows that weren't very good. But yeah, I've always been a huge fan of game shows. Now, we should talk about So we decided on our little bit of rules here.
Yeah, we've got some rules. So we obviously have regular game shows where you're, trying to answer questions and win a prize. But then there's also elimination game shows.
Right.
To where you are battling against or challenging another person.
Competing against another person to either eliminate them or not be eliminated yourself.
From the show.
Towards a goal of winning a prize.
Correct. We are going to include those in this.
So
top
reality elimination shows are included. What we have decided to exclude are talent competitions.
Talent competitions. American Idol, X Factor, Hell's Kitchen.
Things like that. Anything that you're still competing, but the competition requires a specific talent
In order to do that.
And
it's not playing a game. It's
Yeah.
talent oriented.
Yeah.
What about Face Off on Sci-Fi?
I don't know what that is.
That's where they do Hollywood makeup.
I know it's
Wow,
a
I've
Nicolas
never heard of that.
Cage movie.
Yeah,
no,
Nicolas
this is
Cage
different.
and John Travolta.
That's why it's called that.
What about RuPaul's Drag Race?
No,
I don't know what that
Doesn't
is
count.
either.
it's
It's like America's Next Top Model.
John Force is
No,
involved.
that doesn't.
but with drag queens.
I thought it would be RuPaul drag racing John Force in an ultimate head-to-head battle
I've
on
met
the
John
track.
Force.
Have you?
I shook his hand.
That's another one of my friends that was in the Army with me, John Erickson. He's into racing. He does drag racing and stuff. He knows him real well.
Yeah.
Has pictures with his daughters.
Nice guy.
Seems like a really great guy. Yeah. John Force.
No, but no, that would not count because
Okay, they're not on my list. I
Project
just wanted to
Runway, America's Next Top Model, none of those count. Those are talent competitions.
Talent oriented, yes. So we will start at number 10. We also, real quick, have 5 more we're going to do. So we do have a top 15, but we'll give you our 5 honorable mentions.
We're going to give you the meat and potatoes. We're going to give you our top 10. But if you want to hear our honorable mentions,
You go
have
to patreon.com/snarfcomics.
and subscribe, and you will get additional content, additional podcasts. You get script pages from our comic books.
Yes.
You get stickers, you get t-shirts, whatever. We have all different levels you can subscribe at. But to access the bonus podcast material, you need to subscribe at the $5 monthly level.
This will be the 3rd set of honorable mentions we've put out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we're getting to it, guys.
Yeah, we're cranking it
working
out.
on this stuff.
Boy.
And we have a bunch of patrons right now, and we appreciate you every day.
Absolutely.
One of them is
Thank
Alex.
you so much.
Right here.
Alex is
sitting right
one of
next
them,
to
yes.
us.
All right, number 10. Who wants to start?
Chris.
I will start.
Okay.
My number 10 is Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Square.
I've just always liked this show just for the humor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
I mean, that's all it is. It's just a show place for funny comedians and celebrities
Yep.
to be ridiculous.
100%.
And none of it really matters other than that. And I've
Yep.
always loved Gilbert Godfrey on there.
Betty White was on there a lot.
Yeah.
So was
Whoopi Goldberg was
Whoopi.
the center square, right?
for
A lot
some of
times,
it, but older ones. What's
Now
that?
you go back. That show's been on since the 60s.
What's the really flamboyant older gentleman that always wore like a
Jerry
shiny
Snyder.
coat?
Oh,
Yeah, close.
Elton John.
No, I can't remember him. He's hilarious. Yeah, he always had like a shiny coat, and
I know who you're talking about.
he was very flamboyant. Had like white hair, and would like throw like
Yes.
glitter.
You know who would be
Around him.
phenomenal on Hollywood Squares is Billy Eichner.
He would be
I
absolutely phenomenal. in
Love
that.
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner on the Billy on the Street.
Yeah, he's great.
I know who you're talking about. He was in the end of one of the Jackass movies, and he was throwing the confetti in the boats.
Probably. I don't know. I never watched the Jackass movies. All right, Alex, you're number 10.
My number 10 is when you hear the beep, don't forget all the fun you could have on Supermarket Sweep.
Oh, Supermarket
I
Sweep.
wanted to go on
Market
that show as a
Sweep.
kid.
Oh, that was the after school. It was on after school. It's recently on Amazon now.
I've watched them.
seasons. Yeah, I've been watching it with the kids. They love it. I love it.
It's so good.
It's not quite what I remembered, but I still enjoy it.
I never understood why people didn't just run down the aisles and 5 things.
I
drop
still
Yeah,
don't
I
remember
know.
that.
Like I feel like I
Put
could.
your arm down and just.
I know you have to
Keep
have.
it in
I know.
next to
I know
it.
it's got to be 5 things.
Does it have to be
There's
five?
a limit of 5.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But still, like
Go to the medicine aisle and just.
Yep.
I don't understand it. I feel like I could.
So
I don't know,
me and
but-
Marley had a
8 carts.
huge dust up the other day because we were trying to figure out whether or not the show was filmed in a studio or in an actual grocery store.
No, it's in a studio,
It's a
and they
studio.
built the
You
built
think
the
they
grocery
built
store.
the grocery store?
100%. I know
it's
it's
like guys' grocery games.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we looked it up and I can't remember what we found out.
No, it's a built studio that they brought the products into.
Well, anyway, yeah, I love that.
All those hams.
That is really
It's the
good.
same ham over and over.
My number 10 is also going to be kind of a little bit of a throwback to my childhood, and it is a game called Double Dare.
Double Dare.
Ooh.
I used to watch that after school all the time. It was a Nickelodeon show, and it came onto the Game Show Network for a while too.
See, I never really watched that show because when it was on, we didn't have cable. So I would only see it in hotels.
Oh yeah.
And I did love it in hotels. But
It was so fun. It was family oriented, and there was like families that would compete against each other, or just kids competing against each other. There was always some sort of liquid dropped on people.
Oh, yeah. Was that the one where they climbed through the nose?
The nose, yes,
okay.
that's what I was just gonna get to. They'd climb through through a
booger
big
nose.
nose, and there'd be boogers all in it. It was like the perfect kid game show to watch, and I watched it a lot. I'm always a big nostalgia guy, and that is why it's my number 10.
Yeah, great show. So we're on to number 9.
Yeah.
My number 9 is, I don't know if you guys will have it on your list.
Okay.
It was a little game show on Comedy Central called Win Ben Stein's Money.
Loved it.
I loved that show.
It's like a Jeopardy, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
But you have to go up against.
But
with Ben
definitely a
Stein.
comedy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
A little unknown name, Jimmy Kimmel.
yeah, Jimmy
hosted
Kimmel
that
was the
show.
host of that probably after the Man Show.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I think it was during.
I think it was during.
Oh, really?
When Ben Stein's Money was on, like in 90,
Late 90s, early 2000s.
97, yeah, something like that. So it could have been right around the end of it, I guess.
Yeah. But I just always loved that show. I love Ben Stein. I thought his dry sense of humor was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And it would crack me up every time I watched it. Apparently, it won 6 Daytime Emmy Awards.
Really?
Yeah. And Jimmy Kimmel won an Outstanding Game Show Host Award in 1999.
No kidding.
So that was my number 9.
Win Ben Stein's Money.
Rip Taylor. Is who you were looking
Rip
for.
Did you know
Taylor,
Ben
that's it.
Stein
Yes.
was a speechwriter for...
Nixon.
No, I think it was Reagan.
Johnson.
It was a Republican. I think it was
Kennedy.
Reagan.
Reagan.
Or Bush.
I did know that.
It might have been Bush Sr.
I knew he was in the White House for a while.
Yeah.
As a staffer. Your number 9, Alex.
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor.
I forgot about that
That
show.
cockroach.
Fear
Jump off that building.
was not a factor.
For you.
Joe Rogan
Yeah.
screaming his head off.
I never watched a lot of Fear Factor. I'm not going to lie.
I used to.
I did a lot.
I do remember it, though. I remember one where they drank donkey
Urine.
Yeah,
semen.
semen.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what ended the
yeah.
show. So Joe Rogan talks about this on his podcast. He said
Maybe I didn't see it then. Maybe I just heard it on the podcast. Could have been.
could have been it, but he talked about it. He said, "You know what ended that show?" He said, and it went too crazy. He's like, this was like the remake when they were coming back.
You're right. It was Nixon, by the way. Ben Stein.
That's what I did really think that.
Nixon
anyway,
and Ford. Anyway.
he said they did that stunt where they drank this donkey semen, and he said after that he realized like we can't do this. I can't do
like,
this.
That went through so many levels of management and people.
Well,
like,
he
how
said,
does that...
and he said that like in production meetings and whatnot, everything was just getting so ridiculous. Like you had to one up the next one, the next one, the next one, and then that one comes up, and you're like, well, first off, why are we doing this? And second off, like, what are you gonna do that's worse than this from this moment on? And Joe was like, I don't want a part of it, so he stepped out, and then the show kind of failed after that. But yeah, rightfully so. Honestly,
That's
it's kind of
too
unnecessary. I'll watch tarantulas and bees on your face. I don't want to see that. Anywho,
Yeah.
sorry, I kind of hijacked your number 9.
That's cool. It's all
Yeah.
good.
So you liked that show, huh?
Yeah.
About the 9th best, then?
Yeah. About
Okay.
9th.
About 8 above it.
My number 9 is a show that's relatively new, and I don't even think it's on anymore. I don't. They tried to make it come back, but it's called the Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal?
I liked that show a lot because there's a lot of suspense there when it comes
Very
to
much so, yeah.
opening
That was like a
cases.
huge hit. Like millions and millions and millions of viewers.
Yeah,
When it was first out.
So when it first came out, though, I was like, I don't need to watch that. I wasn't really big into the game show trend at that point, and then I sat down and started watching this show, and I was like drawn in, and I wanted to see more. I liked it. I liked the style of the game. I like what you had to do. It was fun.
What I always loved about that game.
I like Howie Mandel too.
What I always loved about the game is like the real. Yeah, it was Howie Mandel.
Oh, I was thinking Wayne Brady did it now.
No, he did.
He might have come back.
Let's Make a Deal.
Oh,
that's right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Deal or No Deal is the suitcases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I get it now.
And if you go to any arcade at any like water park in like Wisconsin Dells or at the mall, they have a Deal or No Deal game, and your kids will put all their money into that game.
Sure.
And they'll get 2 tickets.
And they'll get no tickets
Every
out of
time.
it. It's the worst payout ticket game there is.
Really?
Anyway, what I loved about the game was like the 18 million different ways that you could think about and quantify like how the game worked.
Yes.
Like you could run mathematical equations in your head to try and figure out like what should I pick here? What should I do?
But that's not
Should I
necessarily the
do
right
that?
way.
It isn't.
You know?
But I'm just saying like there's just a lot of aspects to it.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
And then there's also the mystery of what the banker guy is going to do, and you completely have to guess at the cases
Yeah.
to start it off. So
Go to Vegas. There's a lot of Deal or No Deal there.
really,
Like slot machine type games.
oh, I'm sure.
And like that's how you know you've had a successful game show is when there's Vegas slot machines.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 8,
Yes.
mine is in a similar vein to that. It was kind of the first one that blew up the
Oh.
new world of game shows.
I know what it is.
Who wants to be
be
a
a
millionaire?
I'm Regis Philbin.
That show swept the nation when
It
it came
did.
out, and I watched it and I loved it, and it was super suspenseful, and I always
We would
got
sit
all the
down.
questions right, and I could have sworn that I would be great at the game
Yes,
until like the one that they always lose on is like the one you always lose on.
absolutely. And we all, as a family, would sit down and watch that show when it came on at night. It was a primetime show. It was like the biggest thing at the time. It ran
It's
for
huge,
quite a
yeah.
while, and I remember watching like the first guy that won $1 million, and everybody was like freaking out about it because a guy finally won $1 million, and then a few more obviously went after that. But I remember seeing the first one, and it was a big deal, and it was like a family event. Loved it. I loved that show.
I think there's also a lot of Vegas slots of that show.
Oh, I'm sure.
I used to
That
make-
was a midday show for a while with Meredith Vieira.
After Regis.
Yeah.
My dad used to get mad at me watching it because I'd answer the question. That's not the answer. And then I'd be right. How do you know that? We just covered it in class like 2 days ago. You're in 5th grade. Okay.
Yeah, but it was like 7 + 4, Dad.
Why do you think they made the TV
It's
show
really-
smarter than a 5th grader now?
It's really odd that the other day some old guy told me a joke.
Okay.
He said, "Yeah, I was laying in bed with the wife the other night, and we were watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire." I said, "Do you want to have sex?" She said, "No." I said, "Is that your final answer?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "I think I'm going to phone a friend."
I saw that. That's funny.
Oh, that's not that funny.
Number 8, Alex.
The password is Snarf Talk.
Yes.
Password.
Password.
That's a classic.
That is a classic.
That's why it's on my list. It was an iconic show. I can remember Game Show Network. I'd tune in and
Yep. I watched it all the time.
Yeah, I love Password. And they redid it recently, right? There's a new version of Password now.
I'm more of the vintage game shows.
I agree 100% because those vintage hosts could get away with all kinds of nonsense.
Everything. Yeah.
The one guy who I'm sure at some point we'll talk about. He was in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh, Richard Dawson,
Yeah.
the Running Man.
Yeah, that one.
Richard Dawson.
To be able to just kiss every woman that was on
And
his
who was the
shows.
other like standard game? Wink Martindale was like he
There's
hosted
another
every
one.
game show.
I don't remember.
There's a bunch of them.
Richard Dawson's the one I remember from
Oh yeah, Richard Dawson would like cop
5
a
different-
feel.
Yeah.
Who was the guy? All right, we'll talk
I don't
about
remember
it.
who did Password either, but yeah, I love Password. Wink Martindale he did like tons and tons. I think he did like Joker's Wild and all these different games. Anyway, Jerry, you're number 8.
My number 8 is Survivor.
Survivor. This one. There was a little bit of question.
There was a little bit
Is
of
it
question.
really a game show? Is it more a reality show? Is
So,
it drama?
And here was my argument is that the overall show is a game. You're playing an entire game for a while to win it. So it is an elimination game show.
It's definitely an elimination.
We decided to add elimination game shows, and Survivor's my number 8 because it's
And on top of that, in every episode, there's an elimination challenge that's based around a game of some kind.
a main game to see who the winner is, which would then
Determine immunity.
yes, but it could also propel your chances forward in winning the overall game.
And there's a lot of strategy to Survivor.
Yeah, there is.
It's actually a strategy game, really. at the
For
end of
sure.
the day.
That's 100% what it is. And it's so fun to watch. I like watching that. It was the original reality TV show
pretty much.
game.
I've really only ever seen one season.
Really?
The one with the older naked gay dude.
The first season?
Yeah.
The guy
Richard?
who he won.
Richard,
Yeah,
yes.
he won. That's the only season I've ever
And
seen.
he's come back so many times.
Yeah, he's been back other
And there's one coming up in a couple weeks. They're starting it's like a winners or a champions Survivor thing where they're bringing them all to one island. It
Maybe
looks
I'll
really
check
fun.
it out.
You should watch it.
20 years going.
Oh man, it's been on
crazy.
for so long.
Crazy.
And I love it. I really do. I don't know why. I don't get to watch it that often because I have lost all of my satellite now. It just ran away from me. I can't afford it. But
I loved
so I
Naked
don't
and
get to-
Afraid. It was kind of in the vein. It's not really, but
yeah,
I always think of
I
that
watch
too,
it all the time too, though.
for the same reasons.
But yeah, Survivor, my number 8. Love it.
My number 7 is the game that's made up and the points don't matter. Whose line is it anyway?
See, I thought of that. and
I thought of it
that's
too, but
not
is that a game show?
It's definitely a game
No.
show.
Nobody's winning anything.
The points don't matter, but it's still a game show. He
Improv,
gives points.
It's improv comedy.
He
It's
gives
improv comedy.
That's not a game
This
show.
points.
is not a game show.
It's structured
Christopher.
as a game show. You can't argue
Here?
that. It's structured as a game show. He gives
is.
points.
It's
There's a winner at the end.
It's structured as like an improv class,
An improv game show.
but there's no
It's clearly
game
a game show.
or winning.
There is a game.
The whole thing's the game.
It's whoever Drew Carey wants to pick that
The
day.
points are made up, and there's a winner at the end.
But see,
No, the games are made up, and the points don't matter.
Drew Carey show was the only time that saying ever became a thing.
What do you mean? That's
No,
what he said
who's
before
like-
every
yeah.
episode.
Who's
yeah,
on
but
it?
he wasn't the original host.
No, it was British.
Originally a British show. That guy never said it's the game show where the points are made up and
Right.
the whatever.
The games are made up, and the points don't matter.
Right. Same thing with they brought it back for a little while.
Yes, they did.
With
Was Wayne Brady the host?
no, it was.
I seen Wayne Brady live at the Rialto in Joliet when I was in high school.
Really?
It was amazing.
Is it Aisha Tyler?
Yes, Aisha Tyler.
Oh, I
can't
love
ever
Aisha
think
Tyler.
of names, but you're really good at it.
No, I think it counts, and it's my number 7.
Agree to disagree.
Love that show.
I 100% love that show.
I
Though that was another show that we
love
would
that
sit down
show.
and watch
Yes.
at night. My dad would like fall out of the
Colin,
chair laughing
Ryan
at it.
Stiles.
Yeah, it was really
Wayne
good.
Brady.
Wayne Brady was the best at the end because he'd always do those songs.
Yeah.
And everybody was like waiting at home, like to see what song he was going to sing.
Unbelievably funny show.
Very good.
Nothing has been that funny in a long time.
I don't know if anything has,
No, it hasn't.
to be honest. You're number 7, Alex.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Wow.
That's a low on the list there. But
That is a stunner.
I like
For me.
other shows better. I
Well,
mean,
it's fine. It just knocked my wind out.
what is Jeopardy?
it's It's a quiz show.
I'll
It's
tell
the
you what it
ultimate
is.
quiz
It
show.
is
It
the
is.
ultimate quiz show.
It
yes.
is the ultimate quiz show.
Have you been watching the Greatest Champions series on Primetime? Well, I have.
So did I. We had a whole text session.
Yeah, we were live tweeting
Are you
or
watching
live texting each other. Me,
We
you,
were.
and David.
You're
Watching this
Seeds up.
right now.
That's exactly what we were saying.
It's David Seed. Oh, it was intense.
It was intense, and Ken Jennings has always been my favorite
I love that guy. Man.
contestant
He's amazing.
of Jeopardy forever.
That's the guy that like beat the computer, right?
And
No, he lost
Watson,
to
he
the
lost
computer.
to Watson, yeah, IBM's Watson, but it is a computer. Give him a break, man.
Well, he won the Tournament of Champions.
He did. He is the greatest of all time.
Jeopardy champion of all time. And Alex Trebek,
Who is Ken?
we don't know. This might be his last season, so
He's having
Probably.
some massive medical issues, isn't he?
He's got terminal pancreatic
Pancreatic
cancer.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like stage 4. It's not good for him. But yeah, it'll probably be his last season.
yeah. But anyway, I've loved Jeopardy my entire life, and I still watch it, and I love it.
Yeah, Alex can talk about it. It's his
Yeah.
game show.
Hey, I don't need to talk about him. I'm good.
We just gave all your answers for you.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
think it's
It's your guys' podcast. I'm just here.
Well, it's your
I brought you a
list.
puzzle that I did. I had nothing else going on, so
So my number 7 is Win Ben Stein's Money.
Oh, nice.
I honestly wrote this down, and I wanted to say it in when you brought it up, but I didn't want to say that I had it on my list. Is that I thought right off the bat, like, nobody's going to have this on their list. I loved this show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I really thought nobody would have it on their list. But I did. I absolutely loved it. Ben Stein was hilarious, how dry he was. They did, and it was still a game show in the fact that they were
Oh, it was definitely a
answering
game show,
they were answering questions for a certain amount of money up like Jeopardy. If they didn't answer, I remember if they didn't answer in the form of a question and they did it 3 times, they'd have to wear a dunce cap. And then
Yeah.
they were like made fun of, for a while. It was hilarious. Ben Stein is apparently a very smart individual.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good show. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Was that your
7.
7? My number 6 is American Gladiators.
That is a game show.
Yeah, it's a game show.
I never thought about
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
And I loved that show.
so did I.
I loved it. Everybody in the world, their favorite part was the tennis ball machine
Oh,
gun.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that course, I thought, and this is why I was, before we had this, and you weren't in this because you don't have an iPhone, so I could not text you because I had no service. So I was texting via iMessage
Wow, okay.
to Jerry. I was trying to determine what was and wasn't a game show. So I kept giving him examples. And at one point, Jerry got annoyed enough at me that he basically said, he's like, I'm not going to answer the question.
No,
this
I
is
said-
this is how he sounded in my head. I'm not going to answer every single game show in the world. I got better things to do.
I didn't say better things to do, but I did say I'm not going. Like
I'm not
we
going
go-
to sit here. That's what
I
I said.
said-
I'm not going to sit here and answer every game show for you to
sound
tell
just
you
like
whether or
him.
not it's a game show.
Just like him.
Also, this is while I was giving a breathing treatment
Yeah, I mean, I
to
get
a
it.
child.
It was a very hostile text message.
I probably would have been.
But I did
even
say, I don't think we need to sit here and answer or figure out every game show that's ever existed.
But I was trying to figure out a specific game show without telling you the game show.
which was American Gladiators.
Yes. So
Okay.
I gave you American Ninja Warriors.
You did, and that's when I ignored it.
That
That's
is-
when I was like, all right, I don't care about that show. And I said, I have one in the same realm of that I think is better and would beat all of them, which was my Survivor.
Okay.
I think you just need to quit putting rules on your lists.
No, but it is
No,
clearly a
it's gotta
game
be
show
structured.
according to our thing. It's
Yes.
a game. It's
And
a
a
sports.
show.
It's a show, and it's also an elimination
It's an
challenge.
elimination
So
challenge.
it counts. And I love the American Gladiators, and I watched it nonstop. And I wish it was on every single day. I wish it was on now.
This is Blaze. This is
American
Laser.
Ninja Warrior is not as good as American
is-
Gladiators.
No.
End of
No.
the world. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Laser.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. This is Blaze, and this is Laser, and this is Blazer.
It's a dodgeball.
I
isn't
know, but it's like making fun of Gladiators, American Gladiators, because that's what their names were all.
The six original American Gladiators were Malibu, Lace.
Lace?
Shit! I just closed the thing on accident.
Thunderstorm,
Gemini,
lightning.
Man.
Zap, Nitro. He was.
I remember
I
Nitro.
remember
That's the one I
Nitro.
remember.
And Sunny. 3 men, 3 women.
Sunny. What about like Forearm? Like,
There's a lot more. They brought it back in the
Quads.
2000s with kids.
they did.
Yeah. But anyway, American Gladiators, love that show. That's my number 6. And Alex.
Nighthawk.
Press Your Luck.
Oh, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no
the
whammy, no.
reboot of Whammy.
Yeah. No, the original.
Press Your Luck. And have you guys ever seen the documentary of the guy who beat Press Your Luck?
Yeah, but they talk about it on the Goldbergs.
Do they?
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they
What's his
do.
name? Something Frank, right? I think it's
I don't.
Caliendo.
no,
No,
yeah, yes.
not him.
Well, you
He-
see what you got here is
He literally
that was trying to be my
watched
John Madden.
recorded episodes.
Didn't work.
Yeah,
of
there was like an
Press Your
algorithm
Luck.
behind it.
Well, he memorized the patterns of where the squares would move, and he knew how quick he had to react to get it to move, to go to the spot that would pay him the most money
Yes.
Yeah.
or the prize that he wanted. And he just kept doing it. He memorized the pattern, all spots for it, and he just hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So it just came back this year,
Again, they brought
2019. It was revived. That's fine. I'll take it.
Was it Paul Michael Larson?
I don't remember.
maybe.
It's hosted now by Elizabeth Banks.
Really?
Elizabeth Banks, huh?
Yeah, she's like a huge producer
She's in
now.
everything.
She's
She
like
is.
a
Big
hardcore.
time.
It is made by Bob Barker Studios. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know who the original host was. I actually thought Wink Martindale was the original host, but I think I'm wrong.
No, I wasn't even talking about
Peter Tamarkin. Yeah, I love Press Your Luck.
Tamarkin. But I was saying Paul Michael Larson was the guy who beat the
Oh, okay.
game. He won $110,237, equivalent to $271,000 in 2019. It's the largest one-day total ever won on that game show.
That's crazy. No, I love Press Your Luck. I'm totally in the bag. I agree with you. All right, Jerry.
My number 6, is it? I have 6 as Hollywood Squares.
Oh, nice.
I loved that show so much. I laughed at it a lot. I liked the setup of it, and it is a comedy show, but there was a winner. You know, people did win, and I don't know. I liked it. I used to watch it. That was one of the main shows I used to look for on the Game Show Network after we got it. Was I'd flip through the channels, and if I saw Hollywood Squares on, yeah, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
We're going to watch that before Love Boat kicks off here shortly.
Love Boat. Exciting and new. All right, my number 5. Are we in the
Yes.
top 5? We're in the real world.
This is
folks.
top 5
Here we
shows of
go.
all time.
Wheel
Of
Fortune.
With
you know,
your host, Pat CJ.
I'm not actually a huge Wheel of Fortune fan, but I gotta pay it respect, man.
You're
been
not a huge fan of Wheel of Fortune?
I like it anytime I watch it, but I don't seek it out. But I gotta pay respect where it's due. I mean, it's one of the biggest game shows of all time, and it is probably the biggest thing in Las Vegas. Everywhere you go, it's just Wheel of Fortune.
I have to tell this story when it comes to Wheel of Fortune. It's one of Amy's favorite games. She loves it. She's very good at it. She's always been very good at it.
I'm pretty good at it too.
While she was in labor with Grant, getting ready to push, Wheel of Fortune was up on the TV in the room, and she solved a puzzle as they're like prepping.
What is this?
Like prepping the area, you know, like getting ready to have a child, and she's yelling out, like solving a puzzle for Wheel of Fortune. And I remember like cracking up laughing, and our doctor was in there, Dr. Kazmerzek, and we both like looked at each other like, it's pretty impressive.
See,
solving
for
Wheel of
us,
Fortune
that
puzzles.
was Small Soldiers. That was on.
Small Soldiers was on.
Yeah.
The toys?
The
Yeah.
movie?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I like that show.
I watched the whole movie during the pushing.
Okay.
Anyway, Alex, you're number 5, top 5.
Match Game.
Match game.
Richard Dawson and Charles Nelson Riley sitting there wiggling his glasses at people.
He was a character.
He was.
To say the
I
least.
absolutely love the match game.
Do you?
We might talk about it.
Oh, I
later.
wonder where that came. Wonder where that is.
Top 4 at least.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it will be. Good call. You good?
Yeah.
That's all. My number 5 is a pretty simple one, but it's a great one. Family Feud.
Family Feud.
What a classic! And you know what? I don't mind.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't mind the Steve
That's
Harvey.
Price is Right, bro.
Dun, 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 dun.
Price is Right.
Yeah, that's Price is Right.
I don't mind the Steve Harvey
Steve
version. I
Harvey's
think
great.
he's great. I don't think the new version is bad at all. The original is very good. And then I don't. Who was it after the original guy? The in between.
Ray, he killed himself.
Oh,
Oh, that's sad.
It was originally Richard Dawson, and then it
Yeah.
was Ray something.
the guy from Home Improvement. Played-
No, that was after.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's who I'm thinking of.
He also killed himself.
No,
He
didn't.
did not.
He's alive and kicking.
Richard.
And Louis Anderson hosted it for a while.
I remember
He did.
Louis.
Louis Anderson did for a while. I didn't watch Louis Anderson much. I've never
Richard
been a-
Karn was the guy's name. Number 1 was Richard Dawson. Number 2 was Ray Combs.
Ray
That's
Combs.
the guy who killed himself. That's
Yeah.
the guy I remember from my childhood.
Yes, I remember him as well. Yes.
Because he hosted the show until 1994. 1988 until 1994. He died in 1996 after hanging himself in the closet of it at Glendale Adventist Medical Center, where he's
Wow.
being observed for signs of depression. So,
Yep.
taking over for him was Louis Anderson, and then it was Richard Karn. After that, he succeeded Patrick Duffy on Game Show Network's Bingo America.
Patrick Duffy.
After that, it was James O'Hurley from Seinfeld, Lane's boss from Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't
that at all.
remember him at all. No.
From 2006 to 2010.
Wow.
And it's been Steve Harvey ever since.
Man, I don't remember him
It's
being on it at all.
so not a family show though anymore.
No, it is
No,
not.
it's
anymore.
not. No.
But
But
I actually think I like Steve Harvey almost as good
he's
as
very
any
I
good.
host there's
He's
ever been.
very, very good at it.
I liked Louis Anderson too.
I
but-
think it is like a classic all-time show. That, you know, how many people have said survey says,
Yeah. No, it's great.
you know, in their life. It will go down in history as one of the best. I think it's the 5th best of all time.
Was it the? It's got to be like close to the longest running.
Oh, it's been around since 1976.
Yeah. I think Wheel of Fortune
We can
is
talk
right
about my
now,
number
right?
4, which is Family Feud.
Family
boy.
No, I love Family Feud and everything back. I've probably seen every Richard Dawson episode. First off,
Have you really?
yeah, I watched it like crazy. Ray Combs is what I remember the most from my childhood. But then once you got Game Show Network, they played the Richard Dawson.
They did,
stuff.
yeah, all the time.
So I remember that. I watched all the
That's where you got real handsy
Where I kind of started dropping
match
off
game.
was
and facey.
where I kind of started dropping off was with Richard Karn. Although he was good, he was fine
Is that the guy from?
from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
I liked him.
And I've kind of picked it up from Steve Harvey. I don't watch the show now, but it's become like a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, absolutely, it
So.
has. And there's a guy that I used to work with at Dresden, the other place I used to work. He would go home every single day. As soon as he left work, he would go home and watch Family Feud and then Judge Judy. And that's every single day. That's what he did.
That's a weird life.
Yeah.
Gotta have a plan.
I mean, his kids were out of high school. He had nothing else to do. That's what he did.
Alex, you're number 4.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
The Regis version, not the Meredith.
I agree.
What about the from Slumdog Millionaire? Because it was like the Indian version,
No,
right?
I want the U.S. This is America.
It was.
It
you're right.
was. And it's such
No,
a
you're
good
right.
movie, dude.
I
It's
loved
an
that movie.
amazing movie.
That was a movie that was told to me by David Simmons, and he is a Patreon subscriber.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing movie.
He told me that I needed to watch it.
That was a
He brought it to
worldwide
me.
phenomenon.
It's huge.
That game show. But yeah, Regis was the prime time.
Do you guys remember the guy who went the entire show didn't use one single lifeline to the $1 million question. The only reason
Called his dad.
Yeah.
called his dad and say, "Hey, I don't need anything. I just want to
So I
let
let
you
you
know
know I'm gonna win $1 million.
I'm gonna win $1 million."
Wasn't that the first guy? Because that's what I was thinking
Was
of
that the
earlier
first-
when I was talking about.
I don't know if he was the first one, but he might have been.
I
thought
always
he
thought
was.
it was crazy the people that went out early on easy questions, and then you get to
So
later on
aggravating.
like hard questions that you would know, and you're like, "What?
Yeah.
How do you not know this?"
So aggravating
They,
seeing
they
that.
threw a lot of tough questions in it. The milestones.
Yes,
Of course. Because those are like your checkpoints, your
Yeah.
save points almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's what they did. So my number 4 also, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Nice.
Loved it. Like I said, my family would sit down and watch this show as soon as it would come on, and I couldn't wait for it. And then sometimes they'd have those specials where they'd run 2 hours in a row. Those were my jams those nights.
I love it as well. My number, where are we at? 3
3.
is the match game.
Ooh.
I absolutely love the match game. I was addicted to this when the Game Show Network came out.
Yep.
I'd watch the old episodes and how, like, you just know that you shouldn't be watching it as a kid.
Right.
And it's super adult humor.
Definitely.
And I haven't watched any of the new ones. I've only watched, like, the old ones with whatever that guy's name is.
Betty
but,
White was on that too a lot, wasn't she?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she was on Match Game a lot.
But I absolutely love that game. And what was the guy's name that was, like, the host?
Richard Dawson.
No, he wasn't the host. No, it was Gene Rayburn. Richard Dawson might have
yes.
been a panelist.
Oh, that's right.
He was kind of a goofy looking dude with a big,
Yeah.
long microphone. And the new one is Alec Baldwin.
Nah.
He is, yeah.
Nah.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
We
It
watched
actually is
a
pretty
little
good. Gene Rayburn was the host. Yeah. Yes. No. I absolutely love that show, and it's my number 3.
Okay.
Alex, your number 3.
Tree.
The price is wrong, Bob.
The price is wrong, bitch.
The Price is Right. The perennial classic.
Summers as a kid. Every day.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Right.
What about
Find a TV.
sick days from
Sick
school?
days
Oh,
from
definitely.
That's
school.
like your
Oh,
world.
yeah.
Is Price is Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
for
still
sure.
sick days from work right now. Price is right.
Yeah,
But-
it's great.
I used to love watching it, guessing the dollar amounts, everything.
Yeah, There was also there's a documentary about The Price is Right, about somebody that like cracked the formula for that show and like memorized.
Yes.
it all. It's really good.
He
actually.
memorized the prices of each item
Yes.
because they weren't changing them.
And I watched that documentary. And
Yeah.
it's super good.
It is very
It's on
good.
HBO. But yeah,
So my number 3
yeah,
is Wheel of Fortune.
yay!
Love
Wheel
it.
of Fortune.
It's a classic. We watch it basically every night because Grady has become
Marley
uh,
loves it.
very
She watches
obsessed
it
with
all the time.
So we have Wheel of
Sky calls
Fortune
it
on
the letters game.
the letters game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune is phenomenal. I do think it's amazing that they've had the exact same host in the entirety of the show. And host and
What's interesting about
Letterist.
Pat Sajak?
letterist. Yeah, letter turner.
She looks pretty
Used
good
to be
too, for
letter
being
turner.
like 60-something years old.
I just recently saw an episode of Wheel of Fortune where Vanna was the host up top with the. It was not good. I
Sajak.
couldn't. I have nothing against her whatsoever. It just was not the same show.
it wasn't.
and it felt weird to me.
Pat Sajak is got the perfect amount of creepy, the perfect
Yep.
amount of humor,
Yep.
the perfect amount of everything.
He,
He's also relatively like thrown out of Hollywood because he's like conservative.
Well, didn't he had
you know
a
that?
stroke?
I did not know that.
I think that's why Vanna hosted. I think he had a stroke,
Like a bad one.
and he
is
something happened where he couldn't.
This is where you say, "Is there a good one?" Because there isn't.
Something happened where he
There's
couldn't
good strokes.
host the show for a while, so Vanna took over, and it was like a whole thing.
No, there's different strokes. For
Different strokes,
folks.
world, yeah.
But there are no good strokes or bad strokes. There's just strokes.
What about a 383 stroker?
That's a stroke.
My number 2.
Nope. It would be. Oh wait, yeah, that was my number 3.
My number
I
2,
thought
Jerry.
Alex was talking.
The Price is Right.
The Price is Right is your number 2.
My number 2. I love Bob Barker, but I still love Drew Carey.
I love
He's
Drew
really
Carey,
great too.
too.
I actually think I might like Drew Carey better. I just love the show. I love that they haven't really changed or added any games.
Yep.
I love the Mountain Climber game.
The Mountain Climber game's phenomenal. Everybody's all obsessed with the Plinko game.
I would love to play Plinko.
I think it's great, but man, that's like the worst game to win money on.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
you have the best chances of winning the most.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's all on how your little discs fall.
Well, you can place them in the right spot.
You need to do the putting game.
And I know how to place my disc.
Because if you can guess, you know, the toaster and the SpaghettiOs and then the dry shampoo bottle, if you can place those right, you're gonna get the closest line to the hole and be able to just putt for the win, man.
Tap it in.
Yeah, I love it.
No, I love The Price is Right. That's my number 2. Alex.
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Every slot machine in Vegas.
It's honestly,
It
I've never
really is.
never played it because usually you can't find an open Wheel of Fortune game.
No, it's hard to do.
You got to stab a guy to get to that wheel.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Anytime you walk into a casino, there's like big Wheel of Fortune machines.
Yep,
if
there
it's-
always is.
if it's what 6:00, 6:30, or whatever,
6:30 is when the show comes.
and I'm not currently watching anything, and I'm waiting for
We're 100% watching Wheel of Fortune.
The kid-
That's
yeah.
If that situation's happening in our house, that's what's
that's
on TV.
what
Absolutely.
I find. It's either
We
that.
actually eat dinner to Wheel of Fortune a lot of nights.
We do it too. We
Yeah.
do the same thing. That's funny. Us
yeah.
Midwestern
and we're
folk.
like, we're not old.
No,
My grandparents, who were in their 90s, my grandpa just passed away, but every single day, like clockwork. Like they
That
would get
better be on.
angry if they missed Wheel of Fortune.
Really.
Yes.
I mean, when that's what you look forward to in the
That's
day,
it. That's all they had, Wheel of
Yeah.
Fortune.
then you
And
put
like
on Pat.
grandchildren.
Oh, right, but they're not wheel.
They didn't care that much. They really liked Wheel of Fortune.
My number 2 is The Price is Right.
The Price is Right.
Because it is the second greatest show of all time. If you weren't watching The Price is Right when you were homesick
It's
or
it, man.
at
Sick.
home during the day or in general just at home and you're not watching The Price is Right, you're wrong. You've had a terrible childhood. You had a terrible life.
or you were really sick.
And you always bet a,
even when I
you
was
always
really
bet
sick.
$1 more than those assholes.
Yep.
Just-
$2, Bob.
Yep. It was it's a great show. There's like multiple aspects to the show where you have the people up front trying to battle to get on
and
the
the
show.
whole.
And yes, there's
And
just
then
so
the
much to
end
it.
thing, the Showcase Showdown.
It's amazing. It's an amazing like the way it's put together.
You always pass the Showcase Showdown. Always pass.
Always pass.
You always pass, but you have to be the person that's won the most money
Yeah.
so far. So, what if you've got a crap prize though? Because some people get crappy prizes.
A lot of the prices are crap. Prices are
They're like, all right, here's
What do you want?
you get a new dining room set with
I
a
don't want-
shoe buffer. I don't want any of that.
Sell them on
And
Facebook.
then the next guy got 2 brand new, like, Jettas.
Yeah.
You got 2 cars?
2 of them.
Wow.
Jetta jet skis.
Yeah, 2 Jetta jet skis that came out only in Germany in '84, and those were both worth like $15,000 a piece. And you just gave me the cherry dining room table set with a shoe buffer that
It's cherry wood, though.
right, that you'd pay $6,000 for. I can't win. I can't be the highest showdown. It's a flaw.
I know both your number ones.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, you do.
My number 1. We're gonna go to number 1. We got 2 minutes left. We're right on pace.
We're
man.
right on time.
My number 1 is Jeopardy. Everybody loves Jeopardy.
Jeopardy is
It's the shit.
the all time.
Here, just let
Everybody
me say my
think-
number 1, and then when Jerry says his number 1, you guys can talk about Jeopardy.
We can just talk about that's fine. What's your number 1?
Family Feud.
Family
Feud. I didn't
Already
see that
talked-
coming.
If Wheel of Fortune's over and we're still got nothing special to turn on, throw on Family Feud.
I want to say there's nothing better than the Final Feud.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's
That's
great.
the best. I mean,
I agree.
I watched somebody the other day come back from they had 70 points in the first person, and the second person came back and they won it by 1 point
Really?
crazy.
on the
That's so
last
fun.
line.
That's so fun to watch.
And it was one that I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. And then it had like 62.
To be honest, those moments are why we watch game shows.
Yeah. Of course
Every
they are.
single
They're super
show.
exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry.
It's like,
Hi. Sorry.
Well,
I
hey,
didn't mean that. Sorry.
you said
it's
hey,
like
Jerry.
sports for people that aren't good at sports.
You're right. It really is. It's some sort of competitive
Yeah.
thing that you can be involved with that you don't have to do anything physical. Because I can't do anything physical.
What are you laughing about?
I honestly thought you guys had a pause. That's why I said, "Hey, Jerry." So
Oh.
I was going to ask you what your number one was. I didn't know you guys were still talking about
Oh,
Feud.
my number one is also Jeopardy.
Sorry.
I love Jeopardy.
It is.
I've loved it since I was in high school.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I don't watch it every day, and I don't record it. I know David Seentop records
Yes,
it. He
Mr.
likes it.
Seentop, he records it. And I have recorded it before. I haven't recently, but I watch it as often as possible.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's so challenging first of all, it's challenging.
It's very challenging.
And it's like so exciting when you know the answers.
Yes, absolutely.
And like, I'm pretty good at it.
It's more exciting when you and whoever else is in the room are actually trying to compete against each
It's
other.
more exciting when you're just beating the pants off of somebody that knows no trivia.
Right. That has no brain whatsoever.
Yeah. And that's what usually happens when I'm in the room
Sure. Oh, of course it does.
because I'm a little bit of a trivia hog.
Well, we're going to have to play Jeopardy
I'm
against
probably
each other.
That should be.
We're
That should
gonna have
be.
to play some
I was
Jeopardy.
thinking about that driving here. That should be one of your guys' podcasts because you guys got 4 mics now, right?
Oh, we do. Yes.
Is
So-
a Jeopardy battle?
I was just.
We actually have 8
Oh, a trivia
trivia.
night.
trivia night.
We don't have 8 microphones.
Well, we have the capability of 8 microphones.
So
But you have to have the microphones.
Correct.
Okay.
you
Go
two, me, and dude.
Well, dude's he's worthless.
He's banned from the podcast for an eternity.
Yeah, he's banned from the podcast.
So,
Or you just have one guest and they're the host, and it's trivia for you two against each other for all the marbles.
I'd like
no, I mean, I think it would be good to have multiple
no,
people.
we get multiple people, but we
think
just
that's
can't do dude because he's banned for life.
Right. Until he learns microphone discipline.
Bad microphone discipline as banned dude makes our job harder.
Sorry.
Much.
No apology necessary. You're doing a great job.
I'm a loud person.
Yeah,
so-
you're doing
You have
much
we have
better.
no issues with your microphone discipline. All right, so that's our top 10.
So
guys.
what we've come to find out is that Jeopardy is the best game ever known to man.
Yeah.
Family Feud's good.
Hey,
But I mean,
your list, my
you
list,
know,
his list. It's our own list.
I think a lot of people will agree with most of our selections.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's easy to argue what we've picked, but
Now, I got some more flyers out there in my honorable mentions.
As do I.
And
yeah,
you,
I think
and
I do
you.
too.
And
Yeah.
guys, if you're interested in this, you're gonna have to head over to patreon.com/snarfcomics to get our honorable mentions because that's in our Patreon exclusive line.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
And that's where you gotta be if you want to access that kind of content. So head on over to patreon.com/snarfcomics and sign on up and be a Patreon subscriber and get access to a whole new world of content.
That was very good.
That was good.
And yeah, we got new t-shirts coming out. We got new stickers coming out. We got new podcasts coming out on Patreon at least a couple times a month. We got script pages. We got art coming out. We got all kinds of amazing things
Lots
coming
of
out.
stuff, man. We got lots of stuff.
This is
Lots of content.
kind of a big deal.
We are a content machine.
Alex, it was great having you
Hey,
here. Do you have any
thanks again.
final thoughts?
I didn't pee this episode.
No,
You didn't. Very good.
Very
the
good.
second you turn it off, I'm going
You're-
to the bathroom.
What I call, you know what I call that? Broke in.
No, I'm bursting over here. I'll tell you that
Camelback.
right now.
For Snarf Talk this week, I've been Chris.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Alex. Thanks, guys.
See you.